this day.
They wanna see me stop the world. 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 They wanna see me stop the world.
My crypto is up, my pistols is tucked. Buy the dip with the set, and then I get low as fuck. Lambos in limbo, I sit low as fuck. I got a Kamala hopping off the G5, and you know a Timbo's is tucked. Had the best verses, have to give Swiss Beat and Timbo a cut.
Swiss Beats.
Rather wake up in Rome and in Karen's home that look like Sharon Stone before I hand them the stone.
To this day.
Chrome and abandon the throne.
To this day.
Dope and palm, smoking bombs. Chaos magicians with broken wands. Travel through the dark web until my token's gone. Searching for Spock in his Pokemon. Invoking songs. Speaking pig Latin and Hebrew spoken wrong. Off-white Peruvian fox. Blue face to watch. Lapis lazuli to rock. Baby blue Bermudian locks. Triple black Nubian yacht with Nairobian dot. Brand Nubian yacht. Slow down.
Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop the world. Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop the world. They wanna see me stop the world. They wanna see me stop the world. They wanna see me stop the world.
Slow down. Then a playlist switched to Andalusian rock. For all of you niggas that saying the black woman god, natural Tahuti your pops. Face it, now it's back to the basics. Made the Sentinel destroy Zion, now it's back to the Matrix. Racist. They said black don't crack, but it's cracks in a facelift. Glaciers, ski racks on a spaceship. Gracious, Tanzanite black opal 100 racks for the bracelets. Selfies inspired. We fed all our healthy desires. Demons and Hellcats. Street cars with wealthy desires. Red summers, oh yeah, we melt in these tires. The LP was fire. NFT top shelf sold to the wealthiest buyer. Copper wires, yeah, the wealthy messiahs. You was wrapped up in the wealthy attire. Speak your dreams, dream chasing niggas, seek your streams.
Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop the world. Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop the world. 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 They wanna see me stop the world.
Old niggas ask me, say young blood, where you get your style from? I told them my style's wrong like a cow dung. I chewed on them shrooms like a cow tongue. They said, how come? I replied that the proof is in the outcome. Detroit Red Pillar, yeah, Harlem's very own Malcolm. Go a cop twin the album, the Red Scorpion King, that Christ consciousness, yeah. You might conquer shit. 300 blicky on some contra shit. What? The meanest entry in the cleanest Bentley. Mars and Scorpio, but I let Venus tempt me. Grabbing my dick, they call it penis envy. Busting off shots. Busting off shots till the scene is empty.
Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop the world. Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop the world. 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 They wanna see me stop the world.
right, all right, all right, all right. There you have it, y'all. There you have it. There you have it. There you have it. That is Die Hard. All right. That is Die Hard off of the upcoming album. You know what I'm talking about? Off of the upcoming album, Scorpion season. I mean, the Red Summer season 2. Pardon me, I'm getting a little besides myself. This is not gonna be a deluxe. Hold on. This ain't gonna be a deluxe. I had plans to put out a deluxe, but a deluxe is like 4 new songs, 5 new songs. It's just to add on. It's like, yeah, I mean, the shit that didn't make the cut. No, that's not what we finna do. This is a whole new album. Okay. This is a whole new album. It's a whole year later, right? It's a whole year later after quote unquote the first album dropped, right? The first album dropped on Halloween. So we really like on a year and whatnot. So it wouldn't make any sense whatsoever for me to do a deluxe at this point. So I'm finna just give y'all a whole new album. You know what I'm talking about? It's been a year. It's a lot of shit that we need to talk about. I want to get some things off of my mind. So we giving you a whole album. If everything goes correctly, we looking at Halloween. That's really on some Superman shit. If all of my stars are aligned, I got to get a reading and what I'm gonna have to get my palms read. But if it don't work out to drop on Halloween, you know what I mean? If it's too lit. We doing my birthday November 14th. I'm talking about Scorpion season, my niggas. Scorpion season is definitely here. Smell me. Scorpion season is here. You know what I mean? It's on its way. It's creeping up. We letting the Libras get their shit off. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to all of y'all. You know, it's my dad's sign. I fucks with y'all. Not the long way though, but I rocks with y'all. We get along. You know what I'm talking about? We get along. I don't get no trauma from my childhood that I'm gonna project on y'all. We get along. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's do the roll call before we go and get into the festivities for the night and whatnot. I just had to let y'all know that this is on its way. It's gonna be an NFT, right? It's meant to be an NFT. Now, a lot of people are like, oh man, an NFT, that means that I might not be able to get it because I don't know what the hell an NFT is, and I don't know how to buy an NFT, right? Fret not, worry not. We're gonna walk you through it. You know what I'm talking about? Have you ever bought an album that made you money? Talk black to me. Have you ever purchased an album that helped make you money? It's like buying a pair of sneakers that you could resell and the shit make you money. That's what this is gonna be. We're gonna make an album that's gonna make you some money. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's something we all need. We all need streams of income and whatnot. So we finna walk you through the NFT game. I'm gonna bring on some of my representatives, some of the people without my network, from without my network, and we're gonna show y'all and we're gonna walk you through not just how to make money from this NFT that we're about to drop. We're gonna show you how people in our community you feel me? So that's coming up real quick, real soon. You dig? Roadcaster, discoverable. Hold on a minute, y'all. Hold on a minute. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. So without doing, damn, what's going on with this thing right here? Hold on a minute. Let me double check some things, yeah, man. Let me double check some things, you know. Broadcaster connected. All right, go. This thing got a mind of its own sometimes, you smell me? This thing got a mind of its own, I'm trying to tell you. These little devices. I thought retro was over. We over here playing with technology and shit. You know what I mean? But here we go. So like I said, I'm not gonna get into all of the specifics behind the NFT album right now. I'm gonna give it to you a little bit down the line. One of the perks is that you probably won't be paying $20 for an album. It's gonna be considerably less and whatnot because the price of the album will increase in quote unquote in its worth. I'm selling 1,000,000 copies. So I advise all of my KTLians, if y'all really know what it is, especially the people who've been in these workshops, my stream chasers, buy 1,000 of them, buy 100 of them, do the same. We're gonna show you what Tory Lanez did. We're gonna show you what a few other hip hop artists have done in this space to basically help make them some money, right? And their quote unquote supporters were able to enrich themselves. So that's what we finna do to give back to the family. So let's do this roll call. It's enough people in the building already. I have my mouth a little bit to get the numbers up. Let y'all get in the building and get comfortable for the night. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscriber button. They are hiding our subscribers from us. They are basically somewhat, I ain't gonna say that they're denying us our subscribers, but you know what it is. You feel me? You know what it is. You know the campaign. I'm not gonna get into it because I don't do victimhood consciousness and things like that. I don't sit around and complain about shit. I get right to it and we problem solve. We're hackers over here. You know what I mean? So we're into hacking shit. We're into solving things. We're into fixing things. One of the hacks that I've come up with, one of the solutions that I've come up with, and something that I'm sure that the family will be definitely happy about because they've been asking me to do this for a minute, is I've created a Discord group. You know what I mean? I've created a Discord group. This is going to benefit my Patreons. This is going to benefit everybody that's in the group and whatnot. You will be educated while in that group. You know what I mean? We do a bi-weekly show. We get together 2 times out of the week. A lot of shit goes on throughout the week. Okay. A lot of things go on throughout the week, and we don't always get to link up and talk about it and build on it and catch up and whatnot. But in the Discord group, you're going to be plugged in 24/7. You're going to be able to be plugged in. I'm about to drop it in the link. It's in the link right now for the family that's out there, right? For my old heads over 50 years old, you might not know how to navigate the Discord. Holler at text your grandson or your cousin, one of the youngins and whatnot, and then ask them how to get you on Discord and how that shit works. But for all of my youngins, all of the gamers, all of my Gen X's and whatnot, yeah, I need you to pulls up to the Discord and sign up and be a part of Know the Ledger. Not Know the Ledge, my niggas. Know the Ledger. And then that's going to lead into the metaverse. We're doing this thing step by step. It's going to lead into the metaverse. It's going to lead into our own NFT platform and whatnot. But we want to do things step by step and build this up. So I highly suggest every single person on this YouTube channel, you will not always see me on YouTube. All right. You will not always, I'm not always going to be here on the Tubington. As you know, there's a mass censorship campaign. As soon as Algorithm finds out who we be and catch up to us, we had the possibility of being muted and whatnot. If you rock with us and you want to roll with us and you want to grow and you want to move with us, come over to the Discord. That we can have conversations over there that we can never have on this tube, on the YouTube, because YouTube's time is up, right? Nothing to cry about. They play a lot of they play a role in waking people up. They play a huge role in what is known as enlightenment. They play a huge role in building up what we know as the conscious community that I call the conscious network. But their job, I feel that there's a bigger job and there's more platforms out there. There's hundreds of platforms that are yet to be discovered. So it's time to venture forth and to become more quote unquote, what's the word? Adventurous, and to trust. There's an addiction that we all have to these main channels like IG, Facebook, I'm talking about YouTube. I try to shake Instagram and go to fan base. I couldn't do it. You know what I'm talking about? The addiction is too real. Like, it's not enough traction over there.
You feel me? But quiet town, tie it down. That's the theory. Find a quiet town and tie it down. Because when you find a quiet town and tie it down, that's where ownership comes in. You could be the big head nigga in charge on these new apps versus being a little you the little homie on Instagram. You don't got 100,000, 300,000, 3 million followers. You're the little homie and whatnot. You're still working your way up. Versus you could get on one of these new platforms and blow that shit up, and then they could be talking equity. You could be talking boss talk. You could tell the owners and whatnot, or the developers, or whoever the founders are. You could move your weight around and be like, look, my niggas, look at what I'm doing for your thing. I got this shit popping. Cut me in. You know what I mean? I need 2%. I need something. I need shares. I need equity. We got to start talking about equity.
To this day.
Real talk.
To this day.
Talking about equity. What up, Jefferson? My guy. Legend. That's a legend right there. You know what I'm talking about? That's a legend right there. Y'all got to salute my guy. Athletics. You know what I mean? The illest clothing line to come out in a very long time. Very proud of you, my brother. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So let me stop running my mouth and let me do what it is that I came here to do. So we got Patreon, we got Discord. Those are all the channels to pop up, you know what I mean, and to lock in and to get information that I won't be putting in this chat room, and to be able to plug in and to be a part of things that go on. Because I promise you, it's a lot of shit that goes on other than these YouTube shows. You know what I'm talking about? I love YouTube. I love Melanin Mondays. I love Third Eye Thursdays. I love it. You know what I mean? Like I told y'all before, this is really my therapy. You dig what I'm saying? If it was one of y'all here, it doesn't matter. I would talk to one of y'all and get my therapy on. You know what I mean? Because if I'm holding information and I have nobody to talk to, imagine how stressful that could be in the long run, right? Wifey probably be like, I'm taking care of the baby. I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? My brother's like, yo, he won't even answer my call. So who do I talk to when there's a bunch of ideas in my mind? When there's all of this news that I'm compiling and whatnot, when there's these revelations and these downloads that I'm getting, I'm synchronizing, I'm putting things together, I'm seeing the thread that connects things. I need somebody to talk to, right? Some of us, we become hip-hop artists and we write these things as lyrics and whatnot, and then we become performers and we record it, we put it down in the booth and whatnot. Some of us become painters and whatnot, we get our Basquiat on. Some of us become poets and whatnot. Some of us hit the gym and then we work off all of this frustration and this bent up whatever it is, this bent up energy, this pent up energy, and we turn it into chiseled bodies and whatnot. Me, I want to talk. I want to get it off. I want to communicate. I'm a good communicator. You know what I'm saying? I'm an extrovert. I'm a social butterfly. This is something that I do. A lot of people get nervous when they get on stages or they get nervous in front of people. I was gifted. You know what I mean? I don't have many gifts, but I was gifted with the ability to speak. You know what I mean? And be able to shine my light and whatnot. So that's what I'm here doing. I'm humbled and I'm appreciative of everybody that shows up every Thursday and every Monday to hear me and my rants and whatnot and get it off. But I just want to let y'all know that y'all have helped me immensely in my journey. And people be like, yo, Red Pill, you helped me in my journey. I'm like, shit, the feeling is mutual. It's somewhat reciprocated because, y'all helped me as well. It's not a one-way street. You dig what I'm saying? But anyway, let's do the roll call and then we could talk that talk. I see mad people signing up to the Discord. I'm gonna put the Discord thing up there one more again. All right. Here y'all go. The bigger the Discord group becomes, the more successful that we will become collectively in a faster amount of time. There's keys to this Discord shit that I figured out, and I need y'all to really take it serious. You dig what I'm saying? We could go far. You know what I'm talking about? We could go far. And I'm not trying to and I'm not here digging your pockets. You know what I mean? This ain't no fucking I'm not trying to upsell you or nothing. This is just community building, natural. This is grassroots community building. Anybody who claims to be a scholar or a lecturer and you're on the front lines, you should be into organizing. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck if there's a million people that you got on your team. You should be into organizing at all times. That's something that we lack as a community. We lack organization, and people are not necessarily coming together to collectively bring us together as a whole in order to form Voltron so we could see our true power. We have not even seen that day yet. Sorry. We have not even seen that day. That day is coming soon, but we have not even seen the day when we realize our collective power coming together to form Voltron. In this community, I have not seen 1 minute millionaires. Do you know that we can easily become 1 minute millionaires? We can make 1 minute millionaires just like this. You just need a community. It's a simple fucking formula. We haven't come together 10,000 deep, you know what I mean, on sovereign land off the grid. Yeah, we got together. I was there for the Million Man March and everything. It was great. It felt good. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was at the second one. Shit felt empowering. But I'm looking around. I'm seeing federal agents. I'm seeing helicopters. I'm seeing the Capitol. We're not on our land. We could go on some acreage. We could go on some land. There's enough people who own estates and whatnot. 10 acres, 20 acres. There's a family in Georgia that bought 19 acres. I want to see us 10,000 deep. No beef, no egos, none of that fugaziness. You dig what I'm saying? And I want us to enjoy ourselves. I want us to celebrate life. And I want us to collectively make moves. So when we leave there, we're more enriched than we were when we got there. You dig what I'm saying? The shit is possible. You dig? So let's do the roll call. Let's do the roll call. Shout out to Miami-Dade in the building. All right. Money is a major issue. Dade County. You know what it is. You know the vibes. You dig? All right. Who else is in the building? NC, of course, is always in the building. You feel me? NC is all. I love NC, North Cackalack. When I pull up, when I make it to the A, I gotta pull up to NC and just make a quick stop and whatnot. You know, and show love to the family because it's always love out there. It's always love. You know, I'm talking about 505, Albuquerque, Big Zone 6, Minnesota. You know, I'm talking about Ottawa, Canada. I see you. All right. Is it first season up there? Because it's cold where I'm at. Shit. So I can imagine what Ottawa's feeling like. You know what I'm talking about? D-Town, Dallas. Shout out to Dallas in the building. You dig? Shout out to Dallas, Texas. There you go. Another Dallas, Texas. Y'all should link up. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all should link up unless y'all tweeting from the same living room. Port St. Lucie, Florida is beautiful down there. I done heard about it. It's beautiful down there. Indianapolis, all right, Canada. PG County in the building. I see you, PG County, Indianapolis, Skrillicon Valley. Yeah, get to it, my guy. 305 Dade County, Harlem, New York. You know what I'm talking about? Queen City in the building. Queen City in the building. You know what I mean? Yeah. What the fuck is in the building? I see you. Yeah, Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas up in here. I see you, Dallas, Texas. I see you, Houston. I see you. I know about Sunnyside. I pulled up Sunnyside before. You know, I'm talking about Pearland and all of that. Harlem in the building. Harlem in the building. You know what I mean? Detroit in the building. 40 side of Vernon in the building. I was just having this conversation with my dad like a week or something ago. I was telling my dad when I went to go see this chick in 40 side. I was in Queensbridge. This was like 1998. She called me up like 2 in the morning to pull up. I hop out of cab. I go to see her and everything. We in the projects, mind you. And then like her brother and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Her brother kind of almost tried to bump me. And I'm like, little nigga, are you okay? Like, I'm here for your sister. You know what I'm talking about? I've been taking care of your sister. Like, have some respect. Make a long story short, I spent the night the next morning or the next afternoon, and I you know, I messed up because a player's supposed to be out of there by early morning or that night. A nigga stayed to lunch and whatnot. Stayed to about 1 o'clock. I came outside, my nigga. It's like a Nasty Nas video shoot from 1991. The niggas was mad deep out there, bro. I was like, okay. It wasn't no Uber back then. I was like, Uber, come and pick your boy up. I had a fresh Averex leather on. Your boy was clean. They was looking at me like I was a burrito out of Chipotle. You know what I'm talking about? But shout out to Queensbridge. Denver in the building, Jersey in the building, St. Petersburg in the building, Denver again in the building. All right, Island Empire, California, Inland Empire, I'm sorry, Northwest Georgia. You know what I'm talking about? Denver, link up, 305. You know what I mean? Kansas City, Missouri. I see you. I see you. All right. We in here deep, man. Chicago. We here. North Chicago. Talk black to me. You know we real deep. Mm-hmm. Real deep. Mm-hmm. That's right. I'm live on the Discord. Yeah, I'm lit. That's what's up. Denver. Blue Pill will be joining us as soon as he wraps it up with Brother Rich. All right. Shout out to Father Rich. Shout out to King Simon. You know, we don't trip over here. We don't trip over here. You know what I'm saying? We spread the love. You know what I mean? We deal with abundance. We deal with abundance over here. You know what I mean? We deal with the abundance. You know what I'm saying? We don't trip over airwaves. Salt Lake City, San Diego. The people got to get fed anywhere that we find them, right? 901 Motown, St. Petersburg, Florida, Chicago, Chicanos in Chicago, North Carolina, 905 Duval. Oh, I see you, Duval. San Fran. Wait, Duval. I wish I had my Nardo Wick. What the fuck is that? What the fuck was that? That's Duval, my nigga. Shout out to Duval. DMV, Seattle, Colorado, Elizabeth, Brooklyn. All right. Brooklyn. Copenhagen. I was looking for you. You here? You here? BDK was executing sharp last night. Or was he? Or was he? We're gonna talk about that. Oh, you in Mexico? You starting? Let me find out. Lexington, Cleveland, Orlando, Vegas, Charlotte, you know what I'm saying? Norfolk, yeah, Louisiana. So make a long story short, niggas is deep. We here. We in this thing, 400 something people deep, and the numbers are going and they're growing and whatnot. Like I said, quick announcements before we get into the festivities and whatnot. As you may know, tonight's episode is Melanin Monday 174. Okay, we're gonna be doing a recap. We're gonna be doing a recap of one of the illest rap battles that I've seen in a very, very long time. And I'm not talking about Dipset versus the Locks, my niggas. I'm talking about the legends, the motherfucking giants. You know what I mean? The golden era. We was in the late 80s last night, my G. Come on now. Big Daddy Kane, aka King Asiatic, Nobody Equal. And KRS-One, knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. That's when niggas had real names. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't no littles and it wasn't no littles. It wasn't no youngins and youngs, nothing. It was Big Daddy Kane, Big Papa, Big Baby Jesus, Big Pun. You know what I'm talking about? Not that little shit. Not that little shit. Before we talk about that, though, we have to promote this lecture that we have coming up at the end of October. Mind you, we're still in Red October. Okay, this is still Red October. There's a lot of shit rolling out, right? Red October. We have on Thursday, October the 28th, right? 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern, right? What does that mean? That's 9 p.m. East Coast time, my time, right? We are going to be presenting with our special guest, brother Slice X from the biggest crypto play ever, and my good brother from the starter kit. All right, a legend in his own right. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Iggy, shout out to J Crypto, all of my legends. Shout out to Chicago Crypto, shout out to Naughty. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody that's bodying the quote unquote crypto space. You know what I mean? Y'all are legends. Y'all are doing things. You're paving the way and you're opening up the eyes to the people who necessarily didn't have them open before. You know what I mean? You are saving people. You know what I'm saying? You're on your Harriet Tubman shit. You're bringing people, you're onboarding them through the Underground Railroad and whatnot, getting them off of the centralized system back into the decentralized system, a step closer to sovereignty. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to all of the people doing the motherfucking work. I appreciate y'all. Dig? So like I said, tonight we're going to be digging in to the Melanin Monday 174 Big Daddy Kane versus KRS-One, my geniuses. You know what I'm saying? This is something that we really need to talk about, a night to remember. And without any further ado, I don't want to waste your time. I present to you of the blue pillar. Motherfucking building. Motherfucking legend. I'm talking about. Said Rich sent you. Shout out to Brother Rich. Shout out to Father Rich. All right. I'm saying.
Yeah, we pulling up after a phenomenal episode we just did with Brother Rich
Oh
and
man,
King
y'all was
Simon.
cooking. Shout out to King Simon. Y'all was cooking. Damn. I mean, when they was dropping that thing about every time that they changed the calendar, it was bloodshed and war. That shit had me like, that's something to think about.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's a movie. Yeah.
That's a movie. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
movie.
That's a doc. Yeah, let me.
Yeah. So for all of the family that's just coming in here, let Blue Pill get itself together.
No, I'm all the way together.
Shake off the cobwebs, you know what I mean? Get the butterflies out the way. You know, shit happens. I already know how it be. I already know how to stay. I know how the stage be having.
All right, let's go, Kane.
Make you want to go
you
poop
acting like
or
you hiding in your dressing room. All right, let's talk about it. Nigga, I'm on stage. What you talking about?
You know, KRS. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, we got Chris over here, KRS with his shit on. You know what I'm saying? With his shit on. You know what I mean? So for the people that just came in here before we even begin, I want to share with y'all that we have started a Know the Ledger Discord group. You know what I'm talking about? Hallelujah. Discord group. Yes. Discord group. This is for us to stay in touch. This is for us to exchange information. This is for us. We can even go live on the Discord. We'll be taking private conversations for our Patreon members and bringing it to the Discord. You're going to also be introduced to some powerful, interesting, information laden in young brothers that are part of my Discord administration group and whatnot. Because, you know, there's a lot of people that don't even come into the YouTube world, the same way that YouTube might not go into the Twitter world, the same way that the Twitter world might not go into the Twitch world. These are all metaverses unto themselves. So we're going to be introducing each other to these new worlds, and y'all will see the advantage for joining up to the Discord. If you're over 40 or 50, get somebody to help you, to walk you through, because it could be a little challenging to people who are a little digitally challenged and whatnot, but it's fire. So let's talk about it. I don't want to waste no time. I don't want to waste nobody's time. I just had to make that public announcement for the team. I don't want to waste nobody's time. First of all, I just want to share with the family that if you've been on any of my shows where I took you down memory lane, right, where I've reminisced on the golden era, right, not even the tunnel era. What came before the tunnel era? Well, not really. Before the era that came before the tunnel era was the golden era,
the fever era.
Yeah, because you had the fever era, the warehouse, the Union Square, right? This is live in Union Square.
Take it back to the old school.
I'm talking to people who were born after the towers fell, right? I'm not judging y'all. I'm aware that I was, I'm talking to people who were born,
after Pac transition,
after Pac transition, after the towers fell, after after a lot of shit, you know what I'm talking about? So I'm like, I'm putting y'all on. I'm saying the name. I'm invoking the name of the greats. I'm saying Big Daddy Kane. Specifically, Big Daddy Kane. Whenever I get into my Brooklyn bag, whenever I talk about the legends of Bed-Stuy, when I give you the dynamic duo of Biggie and quote unquote Jay-Z, right? Biggie not necessarily a Bed-Stuy, he's out of Clinton Hill, but that's close enough to Bed-Stuy. And then Jay-Z, Marcy, Bed-Stuy, the heart of it, right?
I don't know if you saw the documentary, but
I did.
Grand, right? Grand and Putnam. There would be no BIG if it wasn't for the influence of a BDK or the residue, the template that was already set, because Mr. C and 50 Grand, you know what I'm saying? And even him coming out of Bed-Stuy, is the inspiration for a young Biggie to come through and lay bars
Hold
in
up.
the basement?
That's why I say you need to get some Pepto Bismol before we start, because you're going ahead of yourself. Was I not building up to that? What are we doing? What are we doing? I was just saying, what are we doing?
Go ahead.
I was prefacing.
You said you ain't trying to waste these people's time, so let's go.
I'm getting into it.
Let's
you know
go.
What I'm saying? No foreplay, just go right to it.
Nah, just line it up. Let's go.
All right. Well, like I was saying, as Blue so as he so eloquently articulated, there would be no Biggie Smalls, there would be no quote unquote BIG, right, without the influence of a Big Daddy Kane. When you watch the Biggie documentary, his first rhyme tape, he's rhyming like who? Big Daddy Kane, right?
Mhm.
When Jay-Z got tapped to go on his first tour, right? When he was rhyming mad fast with your boy Jazzo, right? Who was the legend who tapped him, who turned his lights on, who gave him the co-signature, who basically put him in the game and gave him the confidence? That would be Big Daddy Kane, my niggas, right?
Facts.
So when I say this on the show, I'm aware that I'm like, yo, people they're not gonna go and look at Big Daddy Kane videos. They're just hearing me say his name, but they don't know the impact. They're hearing it, but I'm glad that I'm saying it, because at least I'm putting it on record. So whenever you do experience Big Daddy Kane, you know what it is. And I'm talking about, because that's his legacy has somewhat been swept under the rug a little bit. I would say that KRS-One would be a little more mainstream and a little more known than a Big Daddy Kane, unless you're an avid hip hop listener.
This is a fact. You know, if we think about the last 10 years, outside of rappers to get on and they give their backdrop, they be like, well, who's your favorite? Where did you get, you know what I'm saying, your style, your inspiration from? So outside of rappers mentioning Big Daddy Kane as a source of inspiration, right? There's been nothing else. Like, he ain't get no major corporate deals. They ain't throw his music in no commercials. You feel me?
Right.
He, you know, people have not bought his music and created, you know, memorable, legendary hooks out of it and jingles and things of that nature.
Yeah,
so
he ain't been sampled.
He ain't been sampled. So if you are entrenched in the history of hip hop, you know what I'm saying, you kind of understand, especially if you're from New York, especially if you're from Brooklyn, you understand, then you have a backdrop, you have something that you can make reference to. You know what I'm saying? But if you are one of the people that particularly prescribe to the paradigm of, you know, Soulja Boy hangs a banner in his concert. He says that he's the first rapper.
Right.
He don't say that he's the first internet rapper. He say he the first rapper. And there might be some people that believe that.
Wow.
Some people,
yeah, he's not specific enough.
Some people's hip hop started post Ye. Some people's hip hop started post Drake. Some people's hip hop started, you know what I'm saying, around the time that somebody like a Soulja Boy came in. Again, you when you're speaking on the internet, you're addressing a large dichotomy of people that come from mad different backdrops.
That's
so
right.
You can never really tell, you know what I mean, who's who and what's what. So with all that being said, yeah, our brother has a iconic status. You know what I mean? We wouldn't call him a founder,
right?
But it's like hip hop prior to 1987 to me. You know, it's like, what is there really to talk about? I'm sorry.
Don't do that.
But I remember The Message.
Yeah, don't do that.
I remember Curtis Blow playing basketball.
Playing basketball. Remember White Lines?
Yeah. The songs that we remember, the songs that we show up for, the songs that we recite, the shit that gets the blood boiling.
Right.
Oh no, that was post 1986.
Wait, you wasn't collecting Zulu Nation albums?
Nah, that was you. That was you.
To this day. To this day.
And yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them legends. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Legends.
but you was on your Planet Rock shit. You
Nah, I
know what I
wasn't.
mean?
Stop that. I was on Houdini though. You blasphemous right now. So you trying to say that Run DMC? You trying to say that LL Cool
What
J?
years was that?
That's not. Is that golden era? Because remember, there's certain artists that changed the game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I rocked with Run DMC Tough. We had our own personal disputes about LL. That was your record in the crib. I ain't get Without My Radio, nigga. That was your first record.
That's right.
My first record was Whitney Houston. You know what I'm saying? I was fucking with
That's
yeah.
right. You
I
was
was I was
talking about the
crushing on her.
greatest lover all
Yeah.
and all of that. I was with the Gallus Tunes.
Yeah.
I was with the Gallus Tunes, my
You
nigga.
you was trying to be
Yeah, I need love.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
that
trying to be
part.
one of them niggas.
But you
And I was
saying
like, what is this popcorn shit? Yeah, I think
so
I
you saying Kumo D? Because I'm as I remember, they all exist in the same genre. They all exist in the same time period, right?
okay. Let me say that these were the artists that I heard that made me want to rap.
Right.
I think that would be a better explanation of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
These are the artists that kind of like made me bear witness to vocal dexterity, to saying I don't have no business rapping if this is what niggas is out here doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I can fall back and just be a fan, but also, daydream.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't have aspirations to want to be Kool Moe Dee. I didn't have aspirations to necessarily want to be a LL.
Right.
I liked I liked the music. I liked
Right.
the beats that LL incorporated. I wasn't really buying his narrative. I'm like, this nigga's not tough. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No doubt.
So yeah, they saying Jungle Brothers, the whole native tongue scene, De La Soul, all of that. That's after,
Right.
from what I remember.
That,
Look,
that's 89,
everything
90.
changed.
Right.
Public Enemy, KRS, Big Daddy Kane,
Right.
Cool G Rap.
Right.
Okay,
What about Juice Crew?
not necessarily the Juice Crew, Cool G Rap. I was never really a fan of the Juice Crew.
The Symphony.
The Symphony was hot.
You mean to tell me that you wasn't Master Ace?
Master Ace is a phenomenal lyricist to this day.
I'm just saying.
Craig G is dope.
Fucking G. We wasn't on Craig G with the science.
Didn't want to make
That wasn't
me rap.
they weren't. Okay.
These people weren't aspirational necessarily.
All right. Let me throw this at you. Jackie Robinson, IS 320.
Mm-hmm.
The bridge is over, nigga. When KRS One came out, because I remember we was in school at that time. We was in junior high school, and he dropped when they had that beef. And I remember we had Walkmans and whatnot, and this nigga dropped The Bridge is Over.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to rap that day, bro.
Bro, did I not mention him in that narrative that I was just speaking about? I said these are the artists when they came out.
Okay.
Right?
They made you want to spit.
86, 87, 88. What hip hop was you listening to in St. Croix, nigga?
What you mean?
I'm asking you.
What hip hop was I listening to?
Yeah.
Shabba Ranks, nigga. What you talking about?
Look, that's my.
Was they even playing music out there? I don't even remember.
I don't know. I don't remember none of the music experiences out there. So, like tapping into hip hop as a particular, demonstration, something that we did every single day.
Right.
I remember that probably was when we came back from St. Croix and we moved to Flatbush. You know what I'm saying? I mean, KRS One was paradigm shifting.
But I remember that we heard Public Enemy. Did we hear Public Enemy after St. Croix when we was in Harlem, or was that before St. Croix? That was like 86.
When Mom lived on 153rd and St. Nick, across the
Right.
street from the rooftop.
Oh, that was after.
That was after. Yeah,
Okay.
this was 88, I believe. Because that was what's the shit? Bum rush the shogun. Here's the very one. I could be a dope.
Right.
Rebel Without a Pause.
Rebel
Which one
Without
is
a
that?
Pause. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 88. Like, you feel me? So yeah, EPMD, right? So what you saying and all of that? Yeah, I wanted, you know, I didn't have aspirations necessarily to be a rapper, y'all. But
Right.
I admired rappers. I'm like, oh, these dudes is cool. You know what I'm saying? Look at the dress, look at the drip, look at the jewels, listen to the spit. They talk, they spit in knowledge. They, you know what I'm saying? All of these things coinciding at the same time with us being introduced to 5% philosophy. You know what I'm saying? You know, the older dudes in our neighborhoods being god bodies and just trying to make sense of all of this shit. Like, yo, what is this?
Right.
Oh, it got a backdrop to it. Oh, there's mute. Oh shit.
There's a soundtrack to it.
There's a soundtrack to it.
So let me say this. So I would say that it's safe to say that the golden era started in 84, or is it going on record as 86?
I would date it 86. I don't know who was out in 84. I wasn't listening to them.
Okay. So we could say unequivocally, I'm not really all the way on it. I got to do a little more research. But if you say, say 86 is the beginning and 90 is the ending of, right? 90 would be the quote unquote ending of the golden era. Not to say it's the death of hip hop, not 90, to say that the artist that was coming out, right, around that time. Not to say that the artist, I have to use this disclaimer. When Nas came out with Illmatic, right, that's the beginning of a new era.
Facts,
the new eras, the eras would be considered the same way that you could quote unquote say it in consciousness. There's a class, there's classes that come in, right?
Like,
there's freshman classes.
So 90, 91, what is that? Ill and Out Scratch.
Heavy D and the Boys, Ill and Out Scratch, that's CL Smooth, and all of that. That's Chubby the Fat Bastard. You know, that's all of that.
Yeah, so I fell back. Oh, we fell back, right? And we went into dance hall during that period because there was a lull in activity in hip hop in regards to rappers being so dope that they were aspirational. It's like, nah, this is some shit that I'm listening to at this point. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't really driving the soundtrack to my life. We found dance hall in the midst of that.
Super Cat,
Buju Banton. You know what I'm saying? Banto.
Beanie Man.
Yeah, Beanie Man.
Bounty Killer.
Yeah, Matt Cobra. You know, all these dudes. You feel me?
Yeah, so like somebody just pointed out, 84 to 85, that's the Run DMC era. That's Walk This Way. That's yeah, that's Run DMC era. You feel me? And that shit was kind of lit. Like
and
Video Music Box.
We were there, right? We followed the whole Run DMC era. Didn't fuck with the Beastie Boys at all. To this day.
Hold on.
To this day.
No Beastie Boys.
To this day.
Explain that to me and told me more about you niggas than I ever could pick up a book and figure out for myself.
Still trying to figure that out.
Thank God my father and my mother never exposed me to motherfucking Slipknot or you know, or none of that death metal. I was not a fan of rock and roll.
Right.
Okay, UTFO was 85. So these are the
was the wave.
Talking about
they was the wave, right? Yeah. They was the wave. Big wave.
Big wave.
Big wave. With Roxanne and all of that. Big
all
wave.
Of that. It was still, to me, it was kind of bubblegum. It was like, this is something that we are looking at, and you know, it's the soundtrack to the skating ring and other shit that we do as children.
Right.
But it didn't necessarily grab me where it's like, oh shit, I'm hanging on to every single word. Those dudes were like entertainers and rappers. You know, these other brothers and sisters were like spokesmen of the street. They were like curators of the culture, conveyors of cool. You feel
Right.
me? It was different.
So when did you get on Easy E?
Remember, let's not do that. I was the very first person
I'm just saying.
in the hood with an Easy E tape because my barber, Eric Russell, right? He used to
Shout out
go
to
out
E.
west. Yeah.
E
He was
Bucks.
he used to go out west. That's where his father
Right.
lived. So he used to come back with the tapes. So I was putting you on to Easy E before we heard NWA. This was
That's a
88.
fact. That's a fact. And I would thought something was wrong with you because
Yeah.
I was like, this is hot trash.
He was like, this nigga's crazy. Yeah, somebody said,
Who
okay, Grand Pooba was the breakout of his time. He
he
was,
was.
he was the breakout of his time. And we're not even talking about when Grand Pooba breaks off and goes solo. I'm talking about even when they introduced him as part of Brand Nubians, right? Because he came from an older crew and an older collective. And shout out, I mean, I hope we do like a ticker tape parade for Ralph McDaniels.
He got to. I got to shout out
Because
to my guy who be with him and whatnot. It
this
has something has
education,
to be done.
these memories, none of this would have been possible without us having Video Music Box as a reference, right? That I can catalog these memories and these times based on where I was at sitting in front of that TV when I got introduced to these artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I wasn't of age where I was necessarily going to the park, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? We wasn't doing that. We were still getting it from the comfort of our homes initially until we popped off and jumped off the porch around 12.
Right.
So
Kenya from Cali is smoking you right now. Slick Rick Lottie Da was
and and
85,
and I
my
was and I
nigga.
was about to say that. I was about to say when I thought about Lottie Dottie and I thought about Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh, I'm like, that probably was before 86 as well. And
Right.
that captured us. You know what I'm
No,
saying? Lottie,
beyond captured
Lottie,
us.
Lottie,
She was
Lottie Dottie had a
fire.
grip on us. And
No, the show was
the
2 summers.
show,
They took 2 summers with the show.
the show was the shit.
6 minutes, Dougie Fresh on.
And again, this
Only
is
real
this
New
is
Yorkers remember that.
this is this is like you know, again, like I said, when I'm talking about aspirational, I'm saying that these are people that you look up to, like, yo, this is the shit. They on some another level, never thinking like, oh, I could compete with this or I need to do this. It's
Right.
like, no, this is being thoroughly done. I just need to enjoy this and do my best to understand this.
Right. They doing a documentary on Showtime, they said.
Good, right?
Good.
Because he
Big good.
deserves his flowers. He deserves bouquets for
Right.
what he did for the
He
culture.
deserve a Billy. Fuck the flowers. Give that
Yeah,
man a billion.
just give him $1 billion for his contributions to the culture. You know what I mean, and let him enjoy his life. You know what I'm saying?
His
The
years.
Message. Can somebody look up when The Message was? You feel me?
82, 83.
Based on my orientation and how, because I think we both was raised different from the same father, right? So Red was like, you
Possible.
know,
It's
yeah,
possible.
he was, you know, he probably was more party and bullshit and things of that nature. My shit was militancy and information and consciousness. So when I heard The Message, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, this shit is a political commentary. Like, this is deep. This
Right.
looked like the streets. Because at that time, we the reverse of KRS One. We was born in the Bronx and then
And
we was
raised in
raised in
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Right.
So The
KRS 2.
Message was identical to the environment that we grew up in. Well, I'm like, oh, he's giving social commentary on the shit that I see every day that I'm forced to make sense of. I don't got all the answers. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? And I'm looking at my moms and you know, maybe I'm asking the right questions, maybe not. But yeah, 82. Okay.
82,
And
y'all.
I think 82. We was in St. Croix at the time.
Yeah, but it got across to us. I remember that. I remember that.
Remember when we used to go to what was it, Lonnie's crib? Okay, so that would be after we came home,
Right.
because he was a DJ in the Bronx, and I think that he was kind of like understudying under Kid Capri or one of them.
You mean yeah,
L.A.
Love?
L.A. Love, or yeah, I think that's his name.
That's his
You
DJ
know,
name,
he's still
right?
DJ to this day. To this day.
To this day. I seen a
Right?
flyer floating. But anyway, what I do want to put on the record, right, while we're going through this reminiscing thing, we're building up to where we arrived yesterday at the Barclay Centers with Kane and KRS-One. But we have to preface that this was a battle of the golden ages of hip hop. This is, you can't put it in the 90s, you can't put it with Jay-Z, you can't put it with the West Coast, the rise of the West Coast. You can't do any of that. This is the golden era. It was a time before the outgrowth of certain other things, right? Not to take away from anything. It just was a time. I'm giving you the period of time for those who were not there. We're putting it into context so you could understand exactly what this is about and what this music represented and why you probably never heard a lot of those songs, or probably why you never heard of some of these artists and whatnot that maybe mentioned and whatnot. Now I have to put on a record, and for the family that may not be familiar, the real verses, there's two verses that they wanted to see of the golden era that did not happen, and we found ourselves with Kane and KRS-One. Cool G Rap versus KRS-One. That's what the people were calling for. And Rakim versus Big Daddy Kane. That's the ultimate battle right there. That's what everybody wanted to see, because
The battle of battles.
that's the battle of battles. That's Jay-Z versus Nas of today, right? Only because when I'm speaking about the changing of an era, right? The changing of the era comes in with the style of rhyming, the rhyming syncopation, the syllables that are being used and whatnot, the quote unquote, the maturation of the craft. And Rakim Allah is accredited in that era for being the one who brought forth the change in rhyme patterns, rhyme sequences, and altogether bars, my nigga. He brought it. He brought that shit to this day, right? To this day. And in their heydays, the party people, the B-boys, the B-girls, and the brothers and sisters that were part of the culture were like, yo, who's the top MCs? And you heard KRS-One talk his shit last night about the top 5. And do you think if I play that, they'll cut my video? Because I got some clips on my Instagram. What do I got to do? That little God is give me that whole fair copyright thing that I might have to say. The fair uses and whatnot. Because I'll play the clip. But he named the top 4, top 5, and whatnot. And he was like, look, if none of you niggas is ready to step up, I'm him. I'm Hemington. I'm number 1. I am that guy. KRS-One been saying that from the gate. Don't anybody be surprised over what he was doing yesterday to Big Daddy Kane, who is basically
number 1, 2,
the little
3, 4,
homie.
and 5.
Right. He came out the busting gun. He came out the gate popping his collar. He came out the gate battle rapping. He's the first real fucking battle rapper / MC. They try to give it to Eminem. These blasphemous, these blasphemous meth heads. I don't know, but niggas be trying to say that he's the battle rapper / quote unquote rapper that made it, and you know, he's the face of that. I'm like, from where? You niggas probably listening to rap after watching 8 Mile. Okay. But there was an original battle rapper, a nigga who came on stage and literally threw a nigga off a stage. Right? He was with the shits. KRS-One chose violence from the gate. Okay. Boogie Down Production. All right. Scott LaRock. Kenny Parker. Right?
Yo,
these niggas. Just Ice. Where the fuck was Just Ice at?
Look, there was no D Nice. There was no Just Ice.
D Nice was tweeting with me.
He was what?
He was tweeting with me. I was in the verses in the chat tweeting, and D Nice was there tweeting too. I'm like, fam, why you not? Why you got the fedora, nigga?
Yeah, D Nice has, you know, I mean, I don't want to speak on nobody's personal BI, but remember his name came up with the Scotland Rock situation. So I don't know if they fell out from that point, but there was a lot of, rest in peace to Miss Melody.
Rest in peace to Miss Melody. Right.
Right. Kane smoked him years ago. Okay, Kane smoked who years ago?
Yeah, just let me know who
Let's
smokes
clarify
so we
that.
can
What
come out with that.
what did I miss?
Right.
Because
Too Short did come out in 88. I don't mean to cut your wisdom, Blue. Yes, he did. Too Short is a effing legend. You know what I mean? Sir Mix-a-Lot came out. Baby Got Back. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we're not going to negate what the West Coast was doing. Me and Blue Pill, we are aficionados. We're connoisseurs of the culture. And like Blue was telling you, we was on a dance hall wave, and we wasn't even trying to be Jamaican, my nigga. You didn't get fake accents. We wasn't Jamaicans, my nigga. We just followed the good folk. We followed the alpha males. We followed the motherfucking soul, and we followed the ladies, the gallas them.
To this day.
Yeah, that's where they was going.
To this day.
After going to one hooky party and seeing Shorty twerk on her head, my nigga, y'all call it twerk. We had whining.
We lived in Flatbush, and hip hop kind of took a dip in 91. It wasn't nothing that was really, really, really biting. You know what I'm saying?
Getting them in the club like that.
Yeah, it was like, and then dancehall popped. You know what I mean? Dancehall was a wave, and it was a wave. Hip hop was kind of vacant until like 92, and that's when the West came. I think that's when Snoop popped on the scene.
No, it's no Snoop before NWA. Let's stop that. Remember, NWA is in the late 80s, and NWA.
I said 92. I said 92.
Oh, when they warmed it up. Yes, that was Snoop's.
Yeah,
that was
like
Snoop's
when I started listening to West Coast, like I fucks with NWA, Ice Cube, right? When Cube was in the driver's seat.
That's 91. That's America's Most Wanted with the Bomb Squad.
No, exactly. I'm saying that's when Cube goes solo. I said when he was with NWA.
Look, Express Yourself and Fuck the Police and Straight Outta Compton was their greatest songs that they ever cut. First of all, those were the three. That's Little Goddess, please. Express Yourself, Fuck the Police, Straight Outta Compton. I'm saying 90 or 89. I'm saying like 89 and whatnot, because we got to remember NWA without Ice Cube had a run before they fell off. And then Dre and Snoop pop up with Deep Cover. That's like 92.
92.
And then they took over 93. They kind of took over the 92 and 93 a little bit.
Yeah. And that's
then
where
Big and them came.
And Nas first.
And then Wu-Tang, Nas, and Biggie. That would be the East Coast trifecta that kind of brought that shit back home. Right? Yeah, Supercat did tear it up the night before. King Simon, Wagwan. That's what we're trying to, you know what I mean? And before I down the event, right? It's about
wait, hold on. We're making this cultural connection because the Barclays Center is located on Flatbush Avenue.
So in the
heart of Brooklyn,
that shit.
It's in the vein in the heart of Brooklyn, which is Flatbush Avenue. The main artery that runs through it. It not only carries commerce, it carries culture.
Right.
You feel me? It carries culture. So this is where the intersection of hip hop and reggae meets. It meets in Flatbush. It meets on Church Ave. It meets on Flatbush Ave.
Right.
Right.
Because the Best Eye Collective that Big Daddy Kane and them come out of, they wasn't warming up to dance hall like that. That's a Flatbush thing. Henceforth, Biggie coming out, Biggie being of Jamaican descent, right? Not being attracted to what Heavy D was doing, because Heavy D was bringing the mixture. Heavy D got the song with Supercat. Heavy D was introducing hip hop to the dance hall vibe. It was hard for us at certain stages to get our people, niggas, FBAs, and I'm gonna tell Tyreek on you niggas. They didn't even want to listen to hip hop at certain stages. They only wanted to listen to dance hall because it gave them everything that they wanted. Gun Deliro, it gave them the gun lyrics, it gave them the Badman Ting, and it gave him the shorties and whatnot. So here it is in our situation. We're young men coming up, trying to understand how to get at Haitian girls, Jamaican shorties, Trinidadian, Panamanian. You know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't really a cultural divide because our glue was the music.
Right. But hence the fact, even everything that you say, right? People, because they don't really understand the dynamics of how a borough like Brooklyn is split up.
It's broken
You know what I
up,
mean?
right?
And there's some places where they intersect, and there's other places where they don't. Case in point, you know, Big Daddy Kane is from Bed-Stuy. Bed-Stuy has a Caribbean influence somewhat, but it's mainly really down south, right? FBA.
Down
you know what I'm
south,
saying?
right.
Foundational Black American more so influence. So even him being in the Barclays, he couldn't even connect with the Caribbean cultural vibe that KRS-One was tapping into.
All in. He was all in to the point where he wasn't even rapping his songs. He was chatting his songs.
He was chatting.
He was straight chatting his songs.
So yeah, so these artists have never crossed over into these different genres that were up underneath them. Hip hop did not open the door necessarily to reggae and dancehall and make the fusion.
Right.
You feel me? You even seen them attempt to do it on the West Coast with Dr. Dre when he came out, and he had to integrate it. And I don't know any record of the Shower Posse and them niggas tearing up the West Coast. So we don't even know where these influences came from, where it was a permanent imprint in hip hop on the East Coast, but it did not seep into the music necessarily. Busta grabbed it. You feel me? The people that grabbed it, it came natural to. You know what I mean? No, we're not forgetting about Guru. We're not forgetting about Gangstar. They were there.
Not at all. Boot Camp Clip, like
Buckshot.
Short. That's another thing because people
tapped into it.
But also you got to give Buckshot and the Boot Camp Clip their quote unquote flowers, because before a Biggie Smalls, right? That's why they even had beef with Biggie and Junior Mafia. Before the Biggie Smalls shit, the niggas who was running Brooklyn with that sound was Buckshot and quote unquote Ruck and Rock, right? And they came a little bit, you know, Sean P kind of got his shit a little later on in the game. It was primarily Buckshot in the beginning. This is 90.
Yeah, Buck carried it.
Home of the original gun clappers. And then you had the Smith & Wesson Fire. Yeah. They had that shit lit. MOP, right? So we're talking about dirt. We're talking about army suits. Like Nas said, sneaker Uzi on the island in my army jacket lining. We talking about army suits, beef and broccoli Timbs, construction boots,
40
belows with the 2.5 and the 2.2 in your 40 below, like Nas showed, like Tupac had in Juice and whatnot, where he had the blicky in his boot. Champion hoodies with the cone head, you know, army jacket linings, you know what I'm saying? All of that was the uniform. Henceforth, when Big came with the Versace shit, and when Puff influenced Big to switch up the whole quote unquote aesthetics of Brooklyn gangsterism from the leaning, because in his photo shoots you see it, he got the dirty fucking hoodie on with the leaning Timbs. That's why Tupac was beefing with him. He was like, wait a minute, nigga, I was in Versace, I was fly, I was clean, you was a dirty nigga, you had bandanas and whatnot, and dirty, you had a hoodie where if you take it off, the shit could stand up by itself. Stand on its own.
To this day.
Stand on its own.
To this day.
Stand on its own. It looked like a little man in the dark. So he was like, where did you get this from? And then, you know, the influence came from Sean Combs. I was murder. P. Diddy made me pretty. I did it for the money. Now, can you get with me? That's a Mace line, right? P. Diddy introduced the aesthetics of the Cristal, the silk rayon shirts and whatnot, the Versace, the loafers, the pink gators, the pink stink. That's all coming from your man, Mr. Metrosexual. Now, the look in Brooklyn was the grimy look, and then sometimes niggas was rocking the polo look. that's Grand Puba's influence, right? Not to say that Grand Puba was the first one with the polo shit. He was one of the first rappers to be low down and hill figure down from the head to the toe. Even though you had the low lives doing what they was doing, the first low life that I know is Klepto from Junior Mafia, right? There was rap.
Clep was with Junior Mafia, but before that it was Ziggy. Shout out to
Ziggy.
Prince Flow
Shout out to
and
Ziggy.
them brothers. You know what I'm saying? They was repping. You feel me? And remember, they was dancing with Special Ed.
Right.
So that Flatbush aesthetic still got through. You know what I mean? On the fashion tip.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
And but what you call it? Grand Puba comes with Tommy Hilfiger, right?
He busted the
and was that out. Again? I believe that was after. That was 92 after, because we stopped. Like polo for us stopped being a fad or a wave. I think post 92, after the stadiums and after the C92s came out, we started moving into Hilfiger. We started boosting Hilfiger.
Like 94.
I don't think it was 90, like 93, 94. And then that's when Grand Puba takes it to a national stage by, you know, putting it on camera. And he had the wave. You feel me?
He did.
He had the wave at the time. He had the light. He had the opportunity to be the king of New York to that particular
and he had the boss. Right. And he was barred up.
He went solo. He was barred up. He was talking greasy.
He was barred up.
Puba had that second. Guru never had that. And this is not to take anything away from Guru, but Guru never, I don't remember Guru being part of that conversation where you like, yo, son is the nicest in the game, period. He had his respect.
Right. But the flyest dude in hip hop, there was two fly dudes in hip hop who were the progenitors of Get Fly, and that was Slick Rick and Big Daddy Kane, bro. Of that era. But they come, like I say, they the OGs who come
Go look
before.
At Teenage Love.
Go look at Teenage Love when he backed him down on the train. He had the two in the fucking in the Fendi pouch. In the Louis in the Fendi pouch, my niggas. Come on. Like that's dope dealer aesthetic.
They were earlier progenitors of style and fashion, grown man shit in a teenage body.
Right. Dressing like how Big Meech and them be on the BMF show. Niggas is in high school with mad furs on and everything.
No, shout out to Detroit. If you hadn't been there in the 90s, you wouldn't know. Like I was telling my lady about that, right? Because you know I had a thing in Detroit.
Yeah,
and
we
I remember
about you, bro.
Yeah, we was sliding through there, being ducked.
Wasn't that Trick Sister?
It might have been. You know what I'm saying? And yo, we went to a random mall. This shit looked like we went to some shit that looked like Albee Square Mall.
Right.
And they shit was Cartiers and Coogies. Like
buffs. Call them buffs. Yeah, that's what they buffs.
Bro, they was on that hard body. Furs.
Oh, they was on, They was on one. Right.
Yeah, they was on that. You know what I'm saying?
But the swag that my guy brought to the table, right?
Again, okay, so now we're talking again aspirational, right?
Right.
Aspirational. When we seen Slick Rick put down what Slick Rick was putting down, you feel me? I didn't necessarily say, yo, I want 10 chains and shit like that. But I'm like, yo, son is putting it together. You feel me? Like, you see how clean he looked? It started to make sense.
Right.
It started to make sense. It wasn't just rhymes anymore. There was a style component in fashion. I wasn't going to put on leather like Run DMC, but I acknowledged the fact that they was doing something different, and the shit felt different and it looked different.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? LL Cool J, I acknowledge the fact that, you know, he was putting the troop on, and I wasn't going to wear leather. You know, I was understanding the fact that women was checking for him. You know what I mean? That ain't necessarily made me want to pick up weights. So I'm recalling the dudes who got you entrapped in the aesthetic of what it was they was packaging and presenting not as just artists, but connoisseurs of culture at that
Of
particular
culture.
time. And Big Daddy Kane, you feel me? It's like, okay, yeah, I would wear that Dapper Dan shit. I would wear the motherfucking Gucci links. I want an
Right.
anchor. Shit, let me get
I want 3
parts
cuts in the
I want 3 cuts
eyebrow.
in the eyebrow.
Trying to
Let me
wild
get the
out. I
gummy.
want the flat. Yeah, I
You
want the
feel me?
gummy and the flatty.
Yeah, that's when shit changed. And then
Right.
I remember there was older dudes in the neighborhood who I was looking at, and I would say up to, and they was looking up to Kane. So that was major, right? The
Right.
niggas who you look up to was looking up to him.
Right. He was, and I say it on the show because like I said earlier, it's about educating and not, you know, I'm not trying to shame nobody. I'm here to educate. So I'm like, yo, I try my best to put him on to Big Daddy Kane. I'm like, family, if y'all don't know, if y'all haven't heard, not aware, there's an artist by the name of Big Daddy Kane. He is sourced. He's the progenitor. You know what I mean? He's maybe one of the missing pieces when you try to figure out New York rap and whatnot. So my question to you, with all of the quote unquote cultural dexterity that some of these artists represented, what did KRS One represent in his quote unquote in his reign and whatnot? Because remember, he's 80. KRS One is 88. No, when did Scholar Rock get killed?
Before 88.
Before 88. And then My Philosophy.
That was 88, his second album.
Self-Destruction.
From what I remember. Yeah, that shit might be, it was still Latin Quarter. It might be 86.
We talking 80s, but his run from when he popped off with the quote unquote the bridges over in the South Bronx. Like I said, he came in the game beefing, right?
Yeah.
Then he drops Criminal Minded, the album, with
Of
him
which
on the
he
cover,
did not perform last night.
of which he did not. No, he did. He
Criminal
opened up
Minded?
with Criminal Minded.
Huh?
He opened up with Criminal Minded.
Bugging.
Facts.
It's not a fact.
Them beats, bruh.
Criminal Minded. You've been blinded.
Looking for
style
a style
like
like
mine.
mine. You can't find it.
I am
Is
no.
I think he performed that in
Bro, it'd have been Panda.
He opened it up with Criminal Minded. You didn't see the part when Kane didn't come out when Fat Joe was calling his name and the nigga was like, fuck that nigga. Yo, start my shit up. And he was violating.
I know that. He started off violating.
Started off the gate.
But that's not what he came out with.
They said he did. He didn't. He that was his first song. He did Criminal Minded. That shit sounded crazy. So Scott LaRock dies in 87. So then this nigga had a 2-year run. He had a 2-year run from like 85 to 87. And then when Scott LaRock got killed, this is the first artist in the whole genre of hip hop. This is the first body. If my memory serves me correct, if somebody died before that, please.
It was the first high profile body.
It was a high profile homicide. We ain't talking about natural causes and slips. And no, we talking about a straight homicide where we were young and we had to hear that Scott LaRock got killed. We didn't even understand what that meant at a point. We was like, what you mean? Like, how could a hip hop artist die? Like, that shit was baffling to us. Hip hop niggas can't die; they're gods. And like a hip hop artist died, and then we was like, oh, like he's the DJ. We was like, maybe that's why. But hip hop artists don't die. That's
like
not.
He was immune to death.
Like like there was like niggas had herd immunity. You know what I'm talking about? So he survived the loss of his DJ. And I'm not just calling because DJs back then are not what you think of DJs nowadays. That's your producer. That's the dude that's responsible for them fire ass beats. That's your right hand man. It doesn't come. Artists wasn't necessarily coming by themselves. Big Daddy Kane's, his DJ was Mr. C.
To this day. To this day.
bang, bang.
You wrong for that. Don't do that.
Pregnant. Big pause. Big pause. You know what I'm talking about? Wait, he didn't come out last night with that nigga. I bet you that. I reloaded.
Don't do that though.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mr. C as his DJ. Feel me? So it's like, yo, turn that down. Nigga try to catch up on the verses so it don't get washed on the replay. It's too late. But yeah. So what was the aesthetics though? Because when you think about KRS-One, it wasn't the swag, it wasn't the jury, it wasn't the 3 cuts in the eyebrows, it wasn't the sneakers, it wasn't the clothes, right? It was the art, it was the passion, it was the beats, it was the rhymes, it was the consistency. So what was it about Blastmaster KRS-One, right? KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions. What was it about this artist who was once homeless out of the quote unquote Bronx and whatnot, bringing that Bronx flavor? What was it about him that captured the people?
He embodied hip hop
Mm,
to this day. He is if hip hop was a person, it's KRS-One. It is a underdog sport. Hip hop wasn't necessarily the voice and the vehicles of niggas who was already on. And that's how a Kane came. That's how a Slick Rick came. You like, well, what did you know what I'm saying? Because y'all niggas ain't talking about that you got work in the street. You
right.
feel me? So y'all already prepackaged. It don't look like life is that hard from y'all. Like, you never seen them niggas with a hair out of place. You know what I mean?
Right.
But KRS-One comes, he's from the street, he's homeless. You know what I mean? He comes in battling, like you said, biting niggas' heads off.
Right.
Yes, it was the clarity of his voice, the dexterity. He came across as a teacher and not the king of, or remember, he's shooting all that shit up, dealing with Run DMC and all these other people that were standing on them platforms. You know what I mean? I'm the king of this, and you know, all of these subliminals. I'm gonna clean all these niggas up.
Whew, he was talking
So
greasy.
yeah, he's always been the cleanup crew.
Okay.
You feel me? He's always been a cleanup crew. Yeah, and y'all was right. He was dead wrong. He came out with Criminal Minded. Like, this nigga came out
They
taking
said,
bazooka shots.
yeah, KRS-One taught you how to turn your brain on. Damn.
And
Yo,
yeah, like
I'm not gonna lie.
Let me make something very, very clear and to the point of what was being said. There were times, right? And English is my favorite topic in school. There was times when I would have tests
Yeah.
in class, and I would think about a KRS-One verse of how he utilized these words in his rhymes, and it helped me get through school. That's how much of a teacher he was. That his source material was source material. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whereas Kane and Rakim, you had to go and get the lessons to know what they
Right.
was
Right. To
all the
know what
way
they were
talking
saying, you
about.
had to tap into the lessons. That's a fact.
You had to go and get the lessons to all the way know what they was talking about and to be all the way up on that information.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You had to go behind the wall, right? And when we say behind the wall, I mean, you know, in jail or anything. I mean, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these
Right.
artists were utilizing their platforms as invites and calling cards to bring you into the culture,
Right.
right? It was you know, student enrollment. It was recruitment. You
Right.
feel me?
I think
Chris,
very deeply.
yeah, you walk away with that information, and it's like, I went to school from 8 to 3, and from 3 to 4, looking at Video Music Box. Nigga, I was in school, right? But mainly when I was listening to KRS-One, I was in class.
Facts. Facts.
You feel
Facts.
me? I was in class.
So I'm gonna take the unpopular opinion before we even move forward. Now I'm not even gonna say it yet, but let's get into let's still build on KRS-One. I could recall what I was wearing, right? And what color my socks was when I heard my philosophy.
Oh, that's deep.
When that video came on, video music box, got cried, right? That was the
You
first.
what? I didn't hear that last part.
I think I cried.
Okay,
I think
understandable.
I shed a
It
tear.
was, yeah, yeah.
That song moved me in ways that I hadn't been moved before. When they opened it up and Scott LaRock's picture was on the house and whatnot, then they had the little baby playing and it was black and white and and Red Alert was in there, and then it said I think very deeply, and then they went and then they cut to him with the black and white
But no,
outside in front
an
of Drake.
acapella.
Oh, the acapella. Let us
This one
begin.
or that one, the black one or the white one. Princess, I jump up to attack one. KRS One is just the type of leader crew. Right
To
up
this
to
day.
your face, say this.
To this day.
And then the beat
And
drop.
then the beat drop. Oh my goodness. I think very
And I'm just
deeply.
like, how? I'm like, how can he just lost his man. How you
And
coming back
rocking.
like this?
He was rocking. You know what I'm
He ain't look
saying?
like he had a
was
word
rocking.
in the world.
Right. So he put all of us at ease. And we was like, oh, shit is moving forward. Because we didn't know what was about to happen
Yeah,
with the art.
we thought hip hop was about to end.
We thought it was about to end because they killed one of them. We was like, damn, they fucked up. It's over. And he was like, nah, this is not gonna end. It's finna move forward. Even if we thought that subliminally. Even if we thought that subliminally, we was like, yes. Right? Yes. Oh, Fab Five Freddy director did that. Oh, that's interesting. And he was
Ooh,
in the Autobahn. That's
Autobahn.
interesting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, think
Talk
about
nice.
videos, y'all. Think about video music box classics. You feel me? Think
Right.
about video music box classics in the pedigree of videos that was produced in early hip hop. We don't know a lot of the directors' names, even though DJ Vid Kid produced, directed a lot of those videos. But Fab
Right.
Five Freddy did as well. You know what I'm saying? And I think Ted Demi, right, the dude that went on to do Yo MTV Raps, I think that he was
White boy, right.
the white boy was a director. They directed some of these classical videos.
Right.
All of these videos got it right. They
Right.
followed the narrative. They followed the script.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When them videos started becoming big budgeted, them shits did not even follow the goddamn song. You're like, what the fuck is this? But I think that, you know, somebody made a very poignant point, and they said that outside of KRS has the most memorable lines in hip hop, and you found that out last night because he didn't have to finish no song, right? Big Daddy can't rap too fast. You know what I mean?
Now let's talk about that.
All right,
Okay,
wait,
because there's
I'm not finished yet. I'm not finished yet. The only other person in hip hop who has a catalog full of memorable lines is Rakim. Catalog full of memorable lines.
Is
From
Rakim.
Beginning to end, they said the stadium was spitting this nigga's rhymes.
Right.
Just like they're doing right now in this chat.
Right.
Right.
Now, now that I'm glad you brought that up, because the question that I would ask you in the chat and the family over on Discord is he right, or was he in a battle, right? In a battle where this is about, you know, performance. This is about, you know, giving it to the audience, but also giving it to your opponent. Did he error in any way by not going through all of his rhymes the way that Kane was doing it?
No.
The call and response from the crowd wasn't a little too much.
I mean, we obviously saw as a performer,
Yes.
this is something that he utilizes for breath control. So he needed those pauses.
In every song?
Obviously, he was performing like he was performing to his show tape. So, you know what I mean? This is probably what he's used to. If Hakeem Green had been out there with him from the gate, it would have looked wild different.
Right. As the hype man,
Hakeem Green was holding them down.
Big time.
Right?
Big time. Shout out to Hakeem Green.
Shout out to Laser Precision.
Laser.
Right? He was enveloping him.
Yo, he did. I mean, you know, nobody could fuck with my guy when it comes to the Hype Man Award. Nah, I'm talking about your Spliff Star.
Oh,
Spliff
shout out
is
to the guard. Yeah.
Spliff is an anomaly, but what I saw Hakeem Green come out there and do
the same way that Scrap Lover was humping on Kane's leg.
He was like, dance with me, nigga. Don't hump me. We're not doing a Humpty Hump memorial. Don't hump me. Did they give Bismarck a fucking shout out though? That's what I want to know. I came in the building. I stepped out to get some water.
Again, Kane, the first song Kane opened up with was, you know, with the chilling with the biz. What did that first song go? Yeah.
I'm in this.
Yeah.
Because we remember the dances that Scoob and Scrap did. They were outwardly humping. But last night, my guy pulled up on that good red silk, that rayon that Big Daddy Kane had on. He got to humping on some leg. He got to humping on some leg, my nigga. I'm like, is there something on OnlyFans we need to see? Like, what are we doing? There are uncut fucking versions of this shit.
I had a pink fedora on. He just attracted the wrong type of energy.
Yeah, all up in Barclays, humping on legs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Humping on legs.
But yeah,
the Bismarck shout out. I guess I walked out.
Bismarck, they gave shout out in the beginning.
Okay.
And then Bismarck got a shout out when Roxanne Shante came out with Cutmaster Cool V.
Yes, I saw that part with Master Cool V. I'm talking about the playing of his music. I needed to hear some Bismarck, considering the connection that Big Daddy Kane and Bismarck has. For the people that don't know, Big Daddy Kane was his ghostwriter.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's alleged that Bismarck put him on.
He did. I read the story from Kane's. I heard the story, should I say, from Kane's mouth himself.
Right.
That Bismarck was the one responsible for putting him in the game.
Yes.
So Biz played, right? And I said, you know, at the time, B-I-Z to B-I-G. You feel me? If not for Biz, there would be no Big, because there would be no Kane. If not for Kane, there is no J. You know what I mean? All of these people, you know, this is the source code. And, you know, it can be overlooked that these individuals who personify, you feel me, hip hop, are still embodying the spirit of it to this day. Where we never knew what a hip hop would look like at 50.
We didn't know what it would look like at 50, but this is the thing, Blue, and this is our trauma talking to us, because the new genre of people who just make money, right? They're not hip hop artists, they're rappers and whatnot. We assume that everybody is faking it. We assume that everybody could put on hip hop and take it off. These artists who we're looking at from the golden era, they didn't put on hip hop. They are hip hop. It came from their essence. You understand? So it's not like they could put anything down. The pieces, the chromosome, the DNA of the culture that we all collectively enjoy, it was breathed, it was born from the Crazy Legs, from the Big Daddies, from the Bismarcks, from the Roxanne Shantés, the Marlons, and all of these people. It is a conglomerate. It is a collective of some people who, to be honest with you, they don't get the type of credit. I hope they all got 800 credit. They should get a credit boost. They should get anything that they motherfucking want in this world because of what they brought to us in the form of this culture that we all benefit from.
To this day.
Every single one of us. Every single one of us benefit from that. You could wake up. I don't mean to cut you. You could wake up. You could decide that you want to do some hip hop shit. You could walk outside of your house and get a motherfucking bag. You could wake up. You could decide you want to make clothes. You want to do dances. You want to be an artist. You want to be whatever you want to do. As long as if you tap into this spirit, if you tap into the energy of this culture, it's gonna work for you. You understand? It's gonna work for you. It pulls so many people out of poverty. Like, you know, I just feel like it's an honor to see the, you know what I mean? Like you've brought up on many occasions, the way that, you know, we treat our elders in hip hop is atrocity. It's like rock and roll doesn't do that. Jazz never did that. You know, the blues wasn't even doing that. You had people rocking out to the blues in their 80s and whatnot. The only genre that plays this age hierarchy, unfortunately, is this quote unquote hip hop.
And I mean, and there's a reason for that, because this is a youthful art form that was birthed by bastardized youth. And when I say bastardized youth, I don't technically mean that all of the children didn't have fathers in their homes, but as a culture, who fathered the culture? Who were the overlords of the culture? The beboppers and the jazz and the R&B cats did not pass the torch. You know what I'm saying? They didn't pass the torch. They didn't sit down with the little homies and give them, you know what I'm saying, the source code information. Like, look, when you go into these record labels, these Jewish mafia is about to turn you on your head upside down and go all through your pockets. They didn't even warn them about that. You know what I'm saying? And then this is a larger narrative about the fallout. Again, this is Home Alone. These are children who had access to records of their parents and technology, and they figured some shit out on their own because their parents wasn't there for whatever reason. And then we got to look at hip hop as being a byproduct and a fallout of a major cataclysm in our existence and our reality, which was NOI versus Malcolm X. And the fallout that created a vacuum that mad different shit popped off because of, right? So the fact that the majority of these children were running around in the streets without eldership or leadership, the irony is that they come under the auspices of the 5% nation, and the quote unquote the recognized leader of that is Father Allah, right? But how many of those children could he possibly have been a father to, right? So you look at these same children that came up with this information. Imagine if they had the discipline of the eldership of an Elijah Muhammad, or, you know, the elder leadership of the nation at that time, that could have ordained these young soldiers and prepared them for the fight of their life that they, you know what I'm saying, inadvertently signed up for just by being birthed into this shit during this time. You get birthed into the 70s. Your father and them is coming home from Vietnam. Some of these niggas is missing. Some of these niggas is on dope. You feel me? Other than them start becoming black capitalists because they get turned out by the Nixon propaganda of him turning our people into black capitalists through the Office of Economic Opportunity, and they cutting checks to all of these community organizations like Larry Hoover in them, right? Turning them out. Jeff Fort in them, right? So these are the things that was taking place. This is the backdrop of where hip hop becomes created from. Yeah, latchkey kids, these children that are part of a society called Pluto and Libra. We were born in that society of Pluto and Libra. Pluto, change and transformation. Libra, relationships, contracts, ultimately family. You know what I'm saying? Everything starts changing during this period. These latchkey kids, the blackout of 1977, right?
Right.
Changes everything because now the hood is running up in stores and they gaining access to technology that they technically can't afford yet because the dope trade, the coke niggas wasn't moving yay on a block like that. They didn't have
Right.
access to the bread. So the blackout allowed them to what we call retail reparations, right? They were
Retail
able to
reparations.
liberate, some shit that was sitting in the window, like
Right.
a little doggy, a puppy, and nobody was buying it. SP 1200, come here, techniques, come here, right?
Yeah.
And
Come
then
home
you
with
get the
me.
innovation, right? That comes by way of these youthful spirits coming into contact with this technology and figuring shit out on their own.
Tweaking it.
Right? So, yeah, the whole culture is run on some youthful shit like Warriors the movie. No parents to be found, no older OGs, no elders pretty much walking them in. Like, yo, this is how the game is going to be played. This is how they're going to come for you. You feel me? This is the potential to be made in a genre such as this if you do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So you're talking about people who contributed their blood, sweat, and tears to a multi-trillion-dollar industry. You feel me?
Right.
Who are still on stage rapping for their legacy to this day. Potential to be made in the
Right.
genres.
That's crazy,
So
right?
some of us might look at it as noble, and we might salute it, right? Because we are emotionally enraptured into the nostalgia of it all,
Right.
right? And some people might look at this shit and cry and
Mm.
be like, well, goddamn, I was looking at a interview with Lil Baby earlier, and he was talking about how he bought everybody everybody in his family houses, and he's never even been to their cribs yet,
Right.
right? He was like, yo, he just told him to send him a text, you know what I'm saying, at the crib that they found, and he'll send the money, right?
Yeah.
I was looking at some other stuff. I forget what other rapper, but it was another rap, Boosie, of course. Some other rappers that speak about, yeah, I was able to put my mom in the crib from this. You know what I'm saying?
Young Thug and them.
Oh, Young Thug was talking
Tucka
about it
tucka.
as well, right? Yo,
Right.
I put the whole family in cribs, bought everybody a crib, bought rips for the this, right? So and I remember like when niggas picked up work in the 80s. Remember what they used to always say? Oh, I'm selling
Right.
these drugs because I want to move
Feed
my
my
mama out
family.
the hood, feed my family.
Yes.
That shit never happened. You know what I'm saying? And even if she moved out the hood, them niggas came to repossess that shit when homie caught a charge,
Right.
right? Didn't necessarily, niggas lost all their whips, cribs got repossessed. You know what I'm saying? Mama ended up back in the hood with an egg on her face. Now she got to deal with and contend with the fact that you done shot this nigga over here, you done robbed that nigga over there, you turned the neighbors into fiends. So she's in an even scarier, precarious situation, and you up north.
Right. You laid
Feel
up.
me? Laid up. And she got to pay for your phone calls and figure out how to get you some commissary and come to see you, right?
Right.
Now these young men are able to, divert all of that and be like, yo, with this talent or this fucking even half of a talent, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm able to do this shit legit and put my family in a position where I get to break generational curses.
That's right.
And this is just shit that people were able to do off the fumes, right? Off of a fraction of a penny from
Mm.
fucking CD sales or digital downloads,
Right.
right? So let's not focus on the fact that we like, oh shit, well, what did the record executives, you know what I'm saying? What did these niggas get? What did they buy? We don't really know those narratives or those stories. That hasn't really hit the mainstream as of yet,
Apple stocks.
right?
Shit
But
like
we
that.
we we know enough, with
Adidas
these
stocks.
artists and these entertainers that, you know what I'm saying, there has been some breakthroughs on the behalf in terms of how the genre can change lives, and there's so many different you worked in the industry, I worked in the industry. There's so many there's so many jobs, there's so many different aspects that don't
Roles.
even get talked
Yeah,
about.
roles.
Roles, you know, there's so much,
Positions. Yeah.
so many positions to be filled.
Super.
You feel me?
Yeah, that's a fact.
And we don't talk about that. We don't prepare our children necessarily for that, right? Everybody either want to be a rapper, you feel me, or a shooter,
Right.
you know.
That's a fact.
So you know, the that aspect of it gets overlooked and needs to be discussed. You feel me? And that was the fact that our children had atomic bombs in their hands. You know what I'm saying? With the information, the lessons, if you will. You feel
Mm,
me?
right.
Had atomic bombs in their hands, you know, and um I don't know if they were ever able to really maximize the potential of what they had possession of or what they have possession of to this day. You know, and the only thing that I could attribute it that to is the fact that the loss of leadership in the late 60s and the early 70s, you know, made, you know, put us at a detriment, right?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
think about the children today, right? To juxtapose it. Think about these children that are being born, these star seeds, you know. Um, Brother came and picked me up the other day to show me some land, right? He showed me footage of his child. His child was 9 months old, playing a guitar, bro. I don't know if
I
you
believe
like
it.
a grown
I
person
believe it.
guitar. He was
Yeah,
holding
yeah.
he was holding the top, which is considered one string, and he was strumming with his finger, and he was making audible tunes. He showed me another footage of him standing in front of keyboards, going in.
Right.
9 months.
Right. I'm
He hadn't
saying
even
these
started
these
walking yet. He started
these
walking, he
these
said,
indigos is
like two
yeah.
days after his first birthday. Off the
Right.
hook.
These
Think about
indigos, these star seeds is something else.
think about what level of detriment that they would be at with all of this skill, all of this talent that is to be utilized, obviously, for something. They have been sent here and retrofitted with a skill set and a talent and a evolutionary, right? You know, gene in them to
Right.
advance them super fast to catch up with something. Imagine if there was no adults here to greet them when they became 4, 5, 6, 7, to make sense of all of this information that they got, all of this access, all of these skills, and they had to figure this shit out
They
all
be
on
in a
their
better
own.
place. They be in
And
a better
the
place. You know what? Because the parent is the one that tells them, you know, who you talking to? What you doing? That's not real. This is real. Before they get indoctrinated with all of the lies from public education and whatnot, if they had to figure it out, I think they may fare better. You never know what they could turn around
yeah,
and create and whatnot.
yeah, that was a bad example.
All right. I want to just real quick, y'all. I'm sharing the Discord link. Y'all make sure y'all go and sign up to the Discord, please. All right. For all of my brothers and sisters who want to be a part of Know the Ledger, we have a Discord group where we'll be building on every single day. We're going to have people dropping information in there. It's going to be a community. So go ahead and sign up. It's free. 99. You know what I'm talking about? And have fun. You know what I mean? But go ahead, Blue. Say what you were saying.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the cultural dynamic, you know, of the music of the genre, you know, where it came from, what it originally meant, you know what I'm saying, where it's at today, you know, the fact that we still to this day, you know, unfortunately, ironically, you know, is devoid of any social commentary, you know, there's not a lot of information being exchanged through the music, you know, through the mainstream or what have you. Um,
You know what I
you
peep?
know, artists are being, you know, artists are tasked with being reporters,
Right,
cultural critics, conveyors of whatever's taking place
right.
in the time that they exist, right? That's what music has always been. That's what musicians have always been. You know what I'm saying? We not getting none of that. Like the last meaningful thing that I heard that resonated, that was really a shock to the system, was Little Baby. That was last year.
Yeah, the big picture.
I mean, not to take anything away from King's Disease or King Disease 2
Right.
or AZ or any of these phenomenal artists, you know, to represent a different level of resurgent. That shit is over 40 rap. That's a whole nother category.
That's different. We're talking about the youth
I'm
because
talking about the youth.
I don't mean to cut your wisdom, but when Rakim Allah was dropping Science, when Big Daddy Kane was dropping his nuggets and whatnot, when KRS One, they were 17, 18, and 19 years old.
To this day.
Be looking at them like
to this day.
They came out, they was these old heads. They was on some boring shit. No, these were the littles and the youngs of that day.
Of that day.
And if
like,
you
nigga,
go back,
yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, and this is no shot at the younger generation because it is what it is, you know, whatever. But think about it. The what would listen, go and read just go in his time. What the fuck were they thinking about at 17? And what was Nas reading that made him write Illmatic? What was rock him on?
Big Daddy Kane, if you slowed them rhymes down and listened to them and read them, because I remember being around, again, older dudes who we look up to, who considered themselves seasoned rappers. They used to sit in the crib and write out all of Kane's rhymes and study them.
Study them straight like that. There wasn't no website to do that. They was writing that shit with a pencil.
They was writing it out and studying it.
They're trying to reverse engineer. Right.
You feel me? It was like, how do you come up with this rhyme scheme? And even last night, me seeing him go through them rhyme schemes. And now, going. You know, me being a writer and understanding, you feel me? Rhyme formats and shit like that. I'm like, bro, as a child, what was your backdrop? Because there's no precedence that comes before you where you like, oh, I just sat around and I was listening to James Brown and shit and I came up with a style of my own. It's like, no, this is really when you had to be authentic and unique and at one with yourself, where these rhymes is even coming to you and you're putting them together. You feel me? You're putting them together on beat. And the shit is classic out the gate. And it rocks to this day.
To this day.
It ain't even age.
Right.
We like,
Gretchen said
age like fine wine.
Super facts.
Teenagers.
That's when you know you're dealing with timeless classics. People are so quick to label things a classic. Classic is when it plays 30 and 20 and 40 years later, that shit will still move the crowd. And if they put it out today, it'll still chart, right? It'll still move the crowd. It'll still, you know, like it's really, I'm really wild. I'm befuddled when I'm thinking about how young these artists were when they were making this music. Classic. This is grown man music. Right. This is music that 40-year-old and 50-year-old adults are still appreciative of. And the shit came out when we were teenagers, and it came out from teenagers, and they didn't have ghostwriters. Because that wasn't even that wasn't even thought of. I mean, there was ghostwriters because, like I said,
and
Big Daddy Kane was writing Bismarcky shit.
They have pushed the genre, right? The genre has been a continuum of them and their influences, where outside of like Nas comes after that, right?
Right.
And there's a class that comes after Nas, nigga. That's the cutoff.
What you mean by that? The cutoff?
Where has the younger artist class come from underneath them, right? That has set precedence where you like, God damn, homie changed the game. Homie came and did something original, right? Homie put points on the board that cannot be you know, attained or contested. Like, when
So
has the
and
last wave of
Bow Wow,
Illmatic
nigga.
artists come about?
Bow Wow. Bow Wow.
This nigga's playing what?
To this day. To this day.
Bow Wow, nigga. Yeah, Bow Wow.
All right, but even that, let's say that Bow
I'm just
Wow
playing,
again.
man. Stop
No,
playing
I'm
with
just
me.
saying, because I watched the verses with Bow Wow and Soulja Boy, and I'm like, niggas don't give Bow Wow his props.
Bars.
He had bars. He got classics. He got hits.
Bars.
He represented something for his genre at the time and his demographic that was special enough that them niggas is having the millennial tour to this day, and this shit is selling out. So, and he was the only kid. He was the only child.
To measure up to what was, you know, you out there with Snoop Dogg, and you can't be coming with no little, you know.
And that's what I'm saying.
So hot.
Like I said, yeah,
right.
he was really on some shit. So like I said, the artists of those time and the people who came after them that they inspired are still the people in the game today. So that you can't mention the Bow Wow goes underneath the Snoop Dogg folder.
Right.
Right.
They're saying Kendrick. I don't know how old Kendrick was in what was that? District 80? What was that mixtape?
No, Section 80.
Section 80. I don't know what his actual age was.
No. He was in that he was okay. He was a teen. He was probably.
He represents a generation, right? He's a generational
young.
rapper.
He was young. You know,
and they saying Baby Wayne. They saying Baby Wayne, early Wayne at Hot Boys Wayne.
Absolutely.
Right, but he comes under. He comes under. Juvenile was an old man. Wasn't young when he came out. I'm just saying, but Juvenile was older.
But he's it's different. It's the little
The younger ones back then, they still had to measure up. So they couldn't just come. That was the thing with Soulja Boy, because Soulja Boy came in and proved that you didn't have to be serious, you didn't have to be logical, you didn't have to be smart,
and you didn't need a cosign.
You didn't need a cosign.
Remember,
come and do some
right?
Shit,
that's how. Yeah, he bumped heads with who? With Ice-T. Niggas said, "Who co-signed this nigga?" He said, right. "I don't need a cosign." That was the break.
Right.
With him.
The Soulja same way. Broke. Remember, KRS-One and Nelly got into it.
Yo, for real. I remember that shit.
KRS-One and Nelly got into it. And the nigga was talking greasy. I would have loved to see that versus. Because I remember the BT shit just came on when Nelly had his classics. Feel me? I would love to see KRS-One and Nelly. Would have been it right there. That's a grudge match.
How did that
That's
pop
a grudge
off?
match.
But that too was like part of the same thing when, like, you know,
old heads talking crazy.
Shit was changing. Yeah, things.
Everybody was about bling bling and the videos and the cars, all the flashy shit, and they wasn't talking about that no more.
Right.
But they winning hip hop awards. They getting classified as the new best hip hop artist. Like, how the fuck that shit ride? You don't even qualify. You know, if I ask you to freestyle, you can't freestyle right now. How are you hip hop?
Right.
The rapper thing. I ain't no hip hop artist. I'm a rapper.
I'm a rapper. Right. And then it gets to Atlanta and niggas is like, I'm not a rapper, I'm a trapper. Right.
Right.
You feel me? Yeah. So we can't take anything away from Lil Wayne. And yes,
but even Lil Wayne, I'm sorry. Even Lil Wayne, because like back in Hot Boy days, he was the young. He was like what, 14? So you have to come with something. But when they started classifying Wayne as the best rapper alive, to me, I thought Wayne was just doing stupid shit. He was just making words rhyme. He had cool punchlines like Young Thug do.
Yeah, I mean, mixtape Wayne was different because when he was rhyming, niggas wasn't rhyming.
But that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing like Drake. Drake is only Drake because nobody else. You know, everybody else had their label issues. There was no one else to be competition. Like Nicki was Nicki because there was nobody else to compete against her. You know, so Wayne was lit, but he already had that Hot Boy shit. So by the time he got to Fireman Wayne, he just say whatever the fuck he want to say because he Wayne. And it rhyme and it's kind of lit. You know, like it sounds good. He's confident.
But after that, the mixtape.
He had Gilly with him.
Yeah.
Got Gilly with him. He had a few people with him. That's after Squad Up. This is after Katrina. He moves to Miami. He locks in. Remember him and Trina was a thing? He locks he right. He leaves the Louisiana. He goes to a newer grid, right? This is around the rise of BMF. You know what I mean? I was out there. This is the rise when Meech and them were beginning to take over Miami. He had a heavy influence, a Hova influence, and then a Dipset influence as well, where they were based sharp one the sword, but his initial flow when he was going dummy, I'm talking about early Wayne dummy flow, is a motherfucking Jay-Z Louisiana flow. That's a Jay-Z flow. That's a baby Jay-Z. Let's be clear. The same way when T.I. was sparking, when T.I. was that nigga, when he was like, I'm the king, and they was like, you are, right? That was that they were calling him the Jay-Z of Atlanta or the Jay-Z of the South. Not to say that he was emulating Hova's flow, but he was basically embodying that spirit. But Lil Wayne, Dwayne Carter, basically was a clone in the beginning. Let's be clear. He began to spread his wings a little bit more as he experimented and he found his sound and he found his motherfucking flow on 103 remixes. Remember his remix run? But his mixtape run, because he was on that, he was tapping into Jay hard. He was tapping into that Jay shit hard. And then he found his flow. He found his flow, he found his sound, and then right. Young Thug took it.
So, you know,
at the end,
we can very well at some point in time, you know, create a family tree, you know, and show where this stuff branches from. And again, I think that there's a main three that we can look at: BDK, KRS, and Rakim. You feel me? And that kind of tells you everything that you need to know about the game and who inspired who and where it came from. So yes, last night we were treated to a symposium, you know, a you know what I'm saying, a hip hopera, if you will. You know, the illest glitch ever. You know what I mean?
Right.
How these brothers were able to come full circle, you know what I mean, and pretty much put their legacies on the line.
Right.
You feel me? I'm like, bro, they put in work in the 80s and it's damn near 40 years later and they still got to put an exclamation point on their careers.
Right.
You feel me? Oh, right. Yeah. If Dot is in the building, Dot could pull up, or he's still in the program.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely need to bring. We'll do a panel.
Yeah, we got to come back to this. This was a drive-by.
Yeah, I got to bring AA in. Yeah, AA is a connoisseur. AA was there. AA breathed this shit. You know what I mean? I wouldn't leave AA out of the convo.
Yeah, I think
when it comes to classic hip hop.
What year was that? Because you was living with AA.
91.
It was the very first time I was introduced to Ice Cube, America's Most Wanted.
91.
It was 91, right? I remember I used to have to go sneak and listen to Adventures of Slick Rick. No.
Oh yeah.
Treat him like a prostitute.
Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier.
Was that at AA?
Yeah. He had crabs with spears and Indian drums. They're going,
yeah.
And niggas had to sneak that listening.
Yeah.
Talk like sex. Coogee rap, nigga. Talk like sex.
We had to sneak
when he was wiping his Johnson off on the curtains. Niggas was like, the horror. What did he just say? Get the holy water, my goodness. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said Brother Panic and Griff. Yes, Panic. You know, we're gonna do an old school. I want to do the golden era. We should just walk through this shit. You know what I mean? Go from certain clips and then on the way down, we pick specific people who could speak of it because they were immersed in it. But when it comes to that old school, definitely, you know, Black Dot, definitely Griff, because Griff was there. Griff understands. He was there before we were there. He knows certain things. Panic, because of his role that he played. I would bring Panic in. Would you bring Panic in around the beginning of Nas era, the 91, or before that? Before that. Yeah, definitely before that. Juice Crew, right. Yeah. So that's something that we're gonna have to put together. Thank y'all for throwing that out there. We'll get back to y'all on when that happens, but I think that'll be a good history lesson. Yeah, Panic worked with Marley Marl. Indeed, my bad. So that would be a good history lesson. It's great to hear from people who have firsthand knowledge. No, don't got to shoot from the hip and whatnot.
Yeah, he got all them stories, you know, from that particular era, you know, when that was going on. Yeah, so
right.
And man, hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop is something else. The vehicle, you know, I was looking at the breakdancing last night, you know what I mean? Ooh. And I'm talking to my lady and I'm like, yo, that shit is quantum yoga. You know what I'm saying? That shit quantum yoga. That's the yoga that, you know what I'm saying? What's the little white girls to be teaching yoga and shit? What their name be like? Yeah, nigga. That's the downward dog that they can't teach.
Yeah. Becky Chakra from Arizona.
Yeah. Becky Chakra from Arizona.
Karen Mudra from from Boise, Idaho.
Yeah. Elizabeth the Enlightened One. Yeah, all that shit.
Yeah. All that shit.
You gotta pay $800 for a yoga class. Yeah, can none of that shit hold a candle to breakdancing?
Yeah, Gwendolyn
That's a full
Violet
body workout.
Facts.
You feel me? The dexterity. It's like, you see this shit? And then I was looking at
that nigga pulled up on a headstand. Like what? This nigga, he was on a headstand moving. I'm like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Right. Bashara said we got that from them kung fu movies. Saturday morning kung fu movies, my nigga. Yeah, shout out to Wu-Tang.
Someone's hopping on his hand. You feel me? Like, I mean, they was just ridiculous. And then I was listening to Fat Joe's breakdown earlier. The dichotomy
he did one?
was crazy. Yeah. He did one. He brought Kane on too. Right? The dichotomy was crazy because he said what? Chris brought all of the originators out. These niggas are 60 plus. Right? Pop Fable in them. You know what I'm saying? The shit looked borderline geriatric. And then Kane come with Crazy Leg introducing this new blood in.
The new guy. Yeah, the new
These niggas,
new
18,
blood.
19, 20. Them niggas was on the, 2 years ago, they was probably on the subway. You know, the niggas that be killing the pole.
It's showtime.
Yeah. It's showtime. Right?
Yeah. When you see a nigga with a Bluetooth speaker come on the train, just get ready. It's showtime. Right?
You getting shit in New York. Yeah, soon as the you getting a show that belongs on Broadway.
You getting a show
this shit is
that
one
if
of
it
the
was in Japan,
on Earth.
Facts. If this shit was in Japan instead of the fucking 2 train, these brothers would be getting 200.
If it was in Paris, they put them in the Louvre.
In the Louvre, my genius. That's a fact.
But because you're in New York, right?
You get a $1 tip.
Home of $1 trillion genre, right? That does not know the fucking value of its own birth and its talent. This shit is undermined, and these young men got to dance on the train for dollars when they got $1 million talent.
What Jay said in that Drake song, you know the value, but not the cost.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
The home of hip hop, $1 trillion genre, like Blue said, and you have hip hop artists still have to dance on a fucking train for $1 pizza. You know what I'm talking about? And I just wanted to point out, hold on.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point this out. That with the verses last night highlighted with it said so many things without having to say it. is that was the last hoorah before the vultures came and took over the culture. That is the last hoorah before the genre was sold up the river. That was the last hoorah before hip hop was compromised, commercialized, and turned into the shit hop that we see nowadays. Talk to me. That was the last. That might have been the last hoorah. When you saw the breakdancers come out, when you see Kane and when you see KRS-One, who were not signed to Def Jam, who did not get the commercial quote unquote bath that these other artists got. These were the artists that got phased out because they were calling themselves God. Their names were acronyms to speak of something powerful. Knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. King Asiatic, nobody equals. These Europeans are scared if somebody asks this nigga, what does your name mean?
Let's be clear though. KRS-One was signed to Jive.
Yes, pause. That's right. Clive Davis.
Jive Zumba. No, this was before. Remember when we went up to that meeting with Pitbull? Niggas are South African gangsters. Yeah.
Right. Jive.
Yeah.
Facts.
They was washing some other type of money. So he was the marquee artist on that label for a while.
Right.
So I mean, I'm just saying that to say, let's not say that he didn't get the push. Let's not say that, you know, these wasn't major artists. I think what we're really overlooking is that Kane, right, was the first crossover commercial artist that got compromised, not necessarily by the corporation, by the pull. Madonna ruined this nigga's career.
Of course.
Now, when you think about Madonna, not only did she, right, she's in hip hop, she's the fucking T cells of hip hop. She's the white blood cell that was coming up and eating niggas when they had inflammation, when niggas was hot. Here she came with as a fucking T cell eating niggas up. She inadvertently could be said to be the precursor of the beginning of the East Coast West Coast beef, because she was the one that came between Tupac and Haitian Jack. And that's what ended up getting Tupac got put in the tizzy because of that beef. That's what got him lined up. And he falsely responds to that shit, takes the coward route and wants to blame the low-hanging fruit by saying, oh, Big, you was responsible. Nigga, you know who put that work on you.
Lady, parents, cover your children's ears, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Graveyard pussy. Okay.
To this
That's
day.
what they call it. To this day.
To this day. To this day.
We gotta check. We gotta go through this nigga Deontay's tweets to see if he got some neck from Madonna before he went to fight. Shit. Graveyard pussy. Not trying to be all. We'll talk raunchy on the Discord.
I mean,
later
this
tonight,
is the dichotomy of the culture that is not being explained, because as much as people want to say, oh, she was an outsider that came in, no, nigga.
She was the not onset
of hip hop, right? With Goldie and them, Fat Five Freddy and them. That shit started downtown with African Bambaataa on the wheels of steel, right? Madonna on the dance floor,
right?
Motherfucking Basquiat in the bathroom corner somewhere, getting high, shooting up, right?
Yeah, Basquiat in the bathroom getting high.
Okay,
she dated Basquiat. I mean, come on now.
Like I said, she's the motherfucking T-cell, nigga.
If anybody watched Godfather Harlem, right? She's Stella Brigante, my nigga. She's the daughter of Gigante. Yeah, she's Stella Brigante. Graveyard pussy.
She's Stella. Mad Box. Stella and the Vanderbilt niggas.
Yeah, Bad Box.
She's Stella and she's Anderson Cooper mama mixed together. Because that's Anderson Cooper mama on that episode.
That's a fact. Okay? That's Anderson Pooper's mama. Yeah, the Vanderbilt.
The factory. Vanderbilt, the Pooper. Anderson Cooper's mama is the one who kept going for Bumpy.
Yeah, Bumpy was humping that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right? So we cannot discount or discredit or separate hip-hop from its shady, murky origins. You know what I'm saying? In clubs downtown where coke was prevalent and white women was the order of the day. Right?
Yeah,
Shout out to Russell Simmons.
That's the hors d'oeuvres. You know what I'm talking about? That was Mr. Childs before Mr. Childs. You know what I'm talking about?
That was no boo without the boo. No.
That was no boo without the boo. You feel me? White lies. Get higher, baby. Go away. Yeah.
Higher, baby. Get higher, baby.
Yeah.
And it was encroached in alternative lifestyles. It was surrounded by it. As we are now finding out. That shit was immersed and surrounded by it. No wonder they had Bambaataa down playing them goddamn clubs.
That's what it was. You know what I'm talking about? It all makes sense. You know, and yes, yeah, Lady Gagger, she comes later. You know what I'm saying? But this is all born out of the Petri dish of Blondie. I remember seeing Blondie Rapture.
1980.
Yes. She was the Alexis Texas of the industry. Right. The Petri dish is Blondie, right? And that was the Christina Aguilera of that day. Black rappers and certain black men and whatnot. She was a target. She was Hemington. She was the one. You know what I'm talking about? And then Madonna became her. These were the party girls. I don't know if Cyndi Lauper was getting knocked down, but it was definitely Blondie and then quote unquote Madonna. We could fast forward to where that's a Kardashian strain. You know what I mean? That's a Kardashian strain. You pop up with them, they get you lit. They get you through certain doors and things of that nature. But there was a price to pay when these dudes were taking that dance with these back, when they were dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight. You see careers begin to suffer. She put my nigga in the tub. Madonna brings you to David Chappelle. That's the European who takes the compromising pictures of all of our rappers. Henceforth, Tupac in the tub with the gold on. Pause. Pregnant pause. You know the picture I'm talking about.
Yeah. So there are blotches on niggas' records. You feel me?
And what did she do with Kane? What photo shoot did Kane do? I'm sorry.
Oh, she put him in the book, right? He had his wood out.
She had a coffee table book with all of her bodies and whatnot. With a bunch of her bodies, and he was in the book with Superman underwear on. She finished them. Called The Sex Book. She came out with a book called The Sex Book and put the chocolate fucking what was his name? Chocolate Thunder. You sexy chocolate. I mean, whatever you want to call it. He was him for the ladies. That was the ladies' man back then. He brought niggas with a 4C complexion back in style. You know what I'm talking about? He pushed Special Ed, Christopher Williams, I'll Be Sure. Him and Wesley Snipes was running crazy through the industry. Big Daddy Kane humped on a nigga's leg so Wesley could hump. You know what I mean? Because Wesley was humping. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I ain't talking about Wesley Muhammad. Wesley Snipes had a run in Hollywood.
Yeah, so she finished, and that again, that reverberation, right? those small things come back in moments like this to work against you. Because you like, damn, has KRS-One ever done anything, right, to let down hip-hop?
Right.
Where he could come into your own home and dominate. Why? Because you let niggas down before and they never forgot.
Right. Niggas had for Big Daddy Kane like if y'all really paid attention to what was going on, he was getting pushed up on a little bit. He was like, wait a minute, are you fucking serious? When Buckshot tried to come up on him with them bars, my dude was standing there like, I mean, first of all, we don't do Brooklyn or Brooklyn violence. I don't know who the fuck put the battery in this. Like, fam, you got to go back to Franklin Ave. This nigga is going back to the shelter. KRS-One is going back to the Bronx. He's going back to to Castle Hill, nigga. Wherever he's going back to Bronx River, nigga. Where the fuck he's from, you're not going there. We don't do Brooklyn on Brooklyn violence. I don't know what that was about. You know what I'm saying? He cleaned that up in the last bar though. He was like, "You my man."
Tag, you're it.
Tag, you're it. Right.
Tag, you're it.
This was running down on him.
The atmosphere and the environment. KRS-One was terraforming the stadium into what? A soundboy burial, right?
He definitely was.
Streets need a body.
Streets need a fucking body.
He's like,
straight
look,
like
nigga,
that.
did you see him at the end in the B-boy stands when this nigga Kane was singing the Kumbaya? He's like, nigga, I came here for a body. I ain't come to hear you tell these niggas that I helped you move in 1989, nigga. Like, that's not what this is. Right? I came to settle a beef from 40 years ago, right? And since I can't give this nigga work, I'm gonna give it to you, right? Put up or shut up. You in a heavyweight fight, my nigga. Stop with the kumbaya. And son had to, it's like he was fearing for his, his safety or some shit like, yo, hold on, stop.
He waved the white flag. He waved the white flag. And my nigga
did 5 songs on him at the end, like, oh, he's finished.
Right. So if anybody
said,
he ran through 5 songs, brought Hakeem out. The shit was like, my nigga, he was doing. They brought the bartenders out. Niggas started doing pull-ups. He brought Hakeem out.
The nigga do it all, did a campaign run, like.
He brought the N1 baskabball players. Yo, hot sauce. All you niggas come. Like it was mad niggas coming out.
Kane, you don't got nothing left in the clip. You ain't even bring Little Daddy Shane on his birthday. Come on.
Little Daddy Shane was in the audience. Little Daddy Shane was in the audience. You don't remember? You and Little Daddy Shane have a fucking song about pimping. It was hot.
You're supposed to let him, do the backup if anything.
Yeah, the backup of
like let my nigga do your ad-libs. You feel me? Hakeem Green held down KRS-One. That's what that's supposed to look like.
Before Hakeem comes out, Mad Lion.
Oh, he bodied it.
He bodied that shit. He breathed a whole nother lung.
He brought the shit like Cadillac.
Remember they did the beat switch
back to the 90s. It sounded exactly how he was supposed to sound.
He knew the assignment.
Huh?
He knew the assignment.
And
then
he brings out a video.
Das Effects. He brings Das Effects out. Oh my goodness. Bump city, bump, bump, bump. To remind the niggas on the triple flow, huh?
Nah, I mean, I said nice and smooth was a good addition. Right?
That was nice and smooth.
That was nice. That was Das Effects, nigga.
That wasn't you with the cape on. I thought that was nice and blue.
All right. So this also becomes a referendum, right? Of who did you put on?
Who did you put on? Exactly.
This becomes a referendum of the amount of time that you spent in the genre. And what did you do with the juice when you had it?
Right.
Who did you put on?
Right.
Because those people should be on stage with you and have you been able to maintain good relationships with them 40 years later, right? Because again, this is hip hop, right? This shit is growing and aging with these gentlemen and these women, right? Sante said, "What you looking at 50 plus years of hip hop right here?"
Right here.
I'm like, and you still got beef with this young lady though? Hold on.
Yeah, she do. Yeah, still to this day.
You see, I mean, they put extra oomph into that ball. So he let the crowd say it. That was disrespectful. But my nigga was there for disrespect.
He was with the shits. He chose violence. He said it from the gate, my nigga. He chose violence. He did not wave a red flag the whole night. He didn't say, let's slow down. He didn't say, nah, chill. He was with the shits. He barked on DJ Scrap for Kid Capri. He came, he chose violence.
He was like trying to freestyle. Then he went in freestyle.
And then he went in freestyles. And then at the end of the day, he's like, Big Daddy Kane is the little homie. If you help me move it out of, if you help me move out of my mama house, don't bring that shit up in the verses, nigga. You foul ass nigga. You foul nigga. You.
Yeah, my Wiz had to help you carry the TV, nigga. You the little homie.
You the little
Either you
homie.
bought niggas Burger King, you know what I'm saying, or you rolled up for a week. Like, what's this about?
Right.
You can't keep cutting. Yo, that's my man. He don't know that.
He don't acknowledge that.
He don't know that.
The only
Stop
Kane,
with the nostalgic shit.
The only Kane he acknowledges the nigga from Menace. He don't even acknowledge you right now, fam. The only Kane that he acknowledges is from Menace to Society,
you know
my nigga. Saying? Like, he don't acknowledge. He's not acknowledging you, homie.
His nigga said he was cocaine.
That was, oh man.
Halfway, take a few steps back.
Now, if we are led to believe, man, if we are led to believe that was a freestyle, right, off the top, right, he flatlined him.
He did flatline. Because wasn't they saying the homie was on cocaine after Madonna?
I heard shit like that.
That was kind of the rumor. He was like, I'm
and
Big
then,
Daddy Kane's cocaine.
So, son, again, showing vulnerability, right? He's on a recap with Joe talking about, yeah, he gonna have to explain that one to me. I ain't get it.
Bro, that's a bar. What do you mean you didn't get it?
Like, my nigga, like, showing your
I got it. Yeah, nigga, I got it. You know what I'm talking about? I got it.
He sunned them. Like, yeah, it wasn't, you know.
Look at Bashira. Look at Bashira on his best style shit. Well, get the 3 cuts in your eyebrows then, my guy. You know what I'm talking about? Get the 3 cuts. Because to be honest with you, this is my stance. Hip hop won. Yeah, I'm taking a corny route. Y'all could, you know, whatever. Take it up with me. You know, call me all kind of names when you're in the Discord. Hip hop won. I'm not necessarily calling it a draw because I personally, my spirit felt that there was a winner last night seeing that whole thing. I know what winners look like. I know how they act.
Yeah.
Like I said before, the losers always wear the dress. And I'm not saying anything like Kane lost. If there was a loser, nobody lost miserably. There wasn't a washing. It wasn't Fat Joe and Ja Rule. It wasn't that. It wasn't Dipset versus the Locks. That was a washing. That was a straight tsunami. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
That was a pick your face up.
Like that I said, he got edged. You know what I'm saying?
He got edged. Now there's 2 things that people are saying. They're saying that Big Daddy Kane outperformed him. But then I'm like, yo, Big Daddy Kane's energy was not fucking with KRS-One's energy. Right?
But
then
says a lot. I'm like, performance.
Body language says a lot. Body language says a lot. But but this is where the caveat comes in. KRS-One was not rhyming all of his rhymes word for word, and Big Daddy Kane was. So that would say, well, if I was rhyming my shit word for word and not allowing me to carry my lyrics with me, then I would be out of breath. Breath control would be a little more compromised than somebody who's clearly doing his act and he's going for the breaths. You know what I mean? He was falling into his shit and then throwing the mic out, getting his breath back, falling into it, throwing the mic out. KRS-One has been performing like, because of the connection that we have with Hakeem Green, he's been performing, I guess, since he started, my niggas. Like he's been. I would say that when I linked up, when did we link up with Hakeem officially and start working, you know, together? Like early 2000s, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Because Hakeem come out of the tunnel. I remember he used to come in the tunnel with my dude Ant, but that's another story. So I would say, yeah, 07 with True Master, 07 and whatnot, right? We link up. So since 07, Hakeem been going on tour with KRS-One. It ain't even KRS. I don't even keep up with all of the tours that KRS-One been on. I just remember as many times that Hakeem went out with him. He stays on the road. He stays on the road. I'm talking about on, yeah. So he knows his words verbatim. He has to, because he's a grand performer. He's a master performer. He's a master of ceremonies. But when you look at what people are using to edge Big Daddy Kane, they're like, yo, he was getting winded and whatnot in the middle of the battle. It wasn't even towards the end. This nigga was winded towards the middle of it. And the energy that homie was bringing every time he came out, the shit was up. KRS-One was up.
He was punching.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was on offense. He was not on defense. He was clearly on offense.
Like I said, Big Daddy was a little too laid back for me. You know, I mean, it's a time to be cool, and that's his aesthetic. You feel me? That's like, we can't expect Rakim to scream, because that's not what he do. You feel me?
Right.
But Kane looked kind of nervous. He didn't quite look like himself. Remember, into the middle, he was like, I got this. I think he had a drink or something. He might have had some of that wine. You feel me? And then he started getting his shit together. It's like, my nigga came out punching from the door.
From the gate. From the gate. Mm-hmm.
No, that's not what happened. Because I seen they recap. Fat Joe was in the crowd. He didn't go.
Yeah, he went into the crowd. He was on the stage though. He brought them out in the beginning. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Fat Joe brought KRS and he brought KRS and Big Daddy out.
He did. He said he seen him in the dressing room.
That's what I'm talking about.
But what are you talking about?
Because when Fat Joe and Ja Rule did they shit, Fat Joe was on that same energy, and Ja Rule looked like he just came to have a good time. It looked like that's what Big Daddy came to like celebrate.
Yeah, we're gonna go through the catalog. Like,
smash this nigga like,
from the gate, and again,
that's what I'm saying. He might have had a conversation with KRS.
I mean, but again, who's walking in there that don't know what time it is?
Had to know what time it was. Had to know what time it was.
Kane does have super confidence. He did not have super confidence last night. He was looking for a connection to the crowd, right? He was too lackadaisical and laid back, and you were in a firefight. This nigga is attempting to take your head off and tarnish your legacy, right? And hand you a fucking L 40 years after you ducked the fade because he washed your crew up. Right. So there's this lingering beef, and then someone wants the crown of the #1 of all time. It's like, you got to defend that, and you home.
You're home. You had home. Brooklyn. Brooklyn. You had home advantage.
Supposed to
this is gonna determine everything.
And like, even hold on, like, even the showmanship aspect. When he was rhyming, he had bars that address niggas that he's battling, but he wasn't personalizing the shit like, this nigga look. Like, I think the crowd would have liked more of that. They still came for red meat.
Of course, they wanted to see a body. This is what's going to determine the whole thing at the end of the day. There was 20 songs played. Who had the better beats? We're talking stadium music. We're talking about when that shit rang off in that motherfucking stadium in the Barclays. Whose beats are hitting 20 years later hardest?
You got to hear it from somebody that was there. According to what Fat Joe was saying, you know what I'm saying, he was making note of the fact that Chris shit was rocking the stadium. And there was several times when he totally had the whole house in tangent.
Right.
And he was rocking them. You know, Mad Lion, he was like, it was critical. He said when Rapture came on, he said it was pandemonium.
When okay. Step
into
the world.
He said, forget about it. Bridge is over. He said the floor was shaking.
Right.
Yeah.
This nigga KRS-One beats were retarded, bro. I slept on him.
Yeah. They knock.
I slept on them. They knock. He got knocks.
He got knockers. And how you gonna rhyme fast but move slow? You know what I'm saying? The nigga was showing his age. The nigga was showing his age. You feel me?
Remember when he climbed over the fence?
Yo. I was so wishing he didn't do that.
You know what I mean? You know, they using them old school Fresh Def Tour techniques and shit like that. And it's like, yeah, your knees don't work like, and your man humped on your leg. Like, we can't get over that. Like,
this nigga don't have Meg Thee Stallion knees, man. Like,
look, man.
That shit look like a boomerang. You know when you on the Instagram, you do a boomerang, your shit be like,
yeah.
He was on the gate, his shit was like,
yeah.
I'm like, family, that ain't it, bro. That's not it. That's not it.
These
I would have
battles,
just fell.
These verses, it becomes an entire audit of your whole career. You know what I mean? Just like how the rap battles are. Just how these niggas is on stage being disrespectful, pulling up your whole resume. When you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the rap battles, I love the rap battles, but they're different. You could bounce back from a rap battle. You're not doing your whole catalog. You're doing 3 rounds. You got to remember your shit. It's all personal. It's grudge matches, whatever. This shit right here, like you said, Blue, this is about your legacy. This is about your catalog. This is about if niggas are going to book you for the next 10 years going down the line. This is the motherfucking, this is it. This is it right here. The Versus is him.
Terror Dome, yeah.
It's the fucking Terror Dome. And to be honest with you, the Versus got me want to get signed.
And
the Versus
what?
Shows me, because the Versus is showing me, right? And I'm not saying I want to be signed to a label, a production deal, or distribution. If you're gonna create classics, when the fuck are you gonna do it? Now, we got classics. We got Prince. We got Scorpion King, Twin the album. There's classics, but you know what I'm talking about, because this is what happened with Big Daddy Kane. He ran out of motherfucking hits. You understand? And he got called out for it too. He ran out of hits. It's not as expected. This is a sound clash. We going bar for bar. We going hit for hit. You ran out of hits, my nigga. And then you filled it up with a little bit of filler. Keyword hits. Keyword hits. So my thing is this: when it comes to making music, it's about the hits. Yeah, your shit sound good. You nice. Oh, you ride the beat. Where's your hits at, my nigga? We need hits. This shit is about, it's a hit-driven fucking world, and it's a hit-driven industry. And for people who remember your shit and want to be nostalgic with your shit, it's hit-driven. So I'm only saying what I just said because it's like, you know, when I think about a lot of the artists that I've seen through this whole run of the Versus, it's like, yeah, them niggas be trying to rap the shit that they made after they went independent, and that shit don't be hit. Niggas don't know that shit. Niggas ain't making hits independently. Them hits come from labels. You know, they call that a freestyle. It's like, yo, KRS killed him with the freestyle at the end. I'm like, nigga, that's a song off of his album that he just put out. What the fuck is you talking about? Like, that's not a freestyle. That's a song you never heard.
Knock him out the box, Chris. Knock him out. You don't think that he made that specifically?
No, that's on one of his albums, fam.
It's one of, okay. I mean, the shit was hot, you know?
Fire.
Should have brought Slick Rick out and just decimated the place.
Yeah, I was waiting for the Slick Rick, and I was waiting for Kool G. I was so waiting for Kool G when the symphony was popping. Everybody was waiting for him. The whole crowd was waiting for him. Yeah, he got this meta historical. He has an album with Brewmaster, and he put out another album that I heard. He put out an album in 2020 was fire.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Fire.
Yeah.
So I'm not negating the fact that these artists put out fire material. I'm not a fan of anybody being locked into a contract and all of that fuck shit that goes on with the industry and the culture vultures. But in this new industry that we're in this new era that we're in, where they have production deals and publishing deals, you know what I mean? There needs to be a more of an emphasis to get these songs to get put out as hits. We need hits, not just hood hits, or it's popping on in this little fucking dive bar that we're in. Hits that everybody dances to. So that's a whole nother story. But the beat selection to me was the deciding factor after I weighed things out. And I was like, I'm not going to necessarily choose a winner and be biased and whatnot. I took it to the beats. What was rocking that building from where I was at? Now, I didn't like Fat Joe. He was in the building. He was able to feel a certain type of thing. But even through the quote unquote internet, you was able to be like, yo, that shit is bodying them right now. As they doing the overhead shots, niggas was going crazy. So KRS-One has, and when I say beats, I mean classic beats that you remember, beats that you forgot that you remembered, that type of shit. Kane had those, but he fell short in the end. He kind of fell short, and he threw about 3 or 4 beats out there that were like modern beats and shit like that. And I'm like, it's not right now, fam. We going classic for classic. And even KRS-One called it out. He said classics only. And Son didn't deliver. Yeah, I wanted to see Just Ice. I wanted to see the OGs. I would love to see Kenny Parker. Is he still alive?
My brother ICU is much darker.
My brother,
that's a wild boy. Yes, a wild
boy. So yes, his KRS-One's commercial appeal was super slept on until last night. Get that man his flowers, right? He was looked at as the underground artist, with Big Daddy Kane being the commercial successful artist and whatnot, who had more appeal and whatnot. I feel that bar somewhat shifted. He got his respect. This was a grudge match, and I feel that he overgrudged him in performance. I'm just talking about in hip hop. Niggas is like, oh, Kane was mad calm. Yeah, he might have been too calm. He was confident. He was on his Brooklyn shit. You know what I mean? He was on his Big Daddy Kane shit. He always had that type of aura. Like, none of you niggas are bigger than me, and I'm never, I'm not worried about none of y'all. Nobody is ruffling my feathers. He's just too cool, right? KRS-One had that energy though, that he always has when he runs up on a B-boy and gives him that work. And he did not change up because it was Big Daddy Kane. He kept that shit consistent. He was in his space. He was talking that shit. And I just feel like his confidence at the end of the day edged him slightly. Do you agree?
Yes. I think, yeah, but I have more factors than that.
Yeah, they said KRS was out of breath. I'm saying, well, I mean, it was at some point Big Daddy was out of breath.
Like Big Daddy was getting winded early too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, KRS out of breath. He had a booming sonic voice.
His shit was projecting. It was projected through the whole building.
I mean, I feel like this nigga could have rhymed without the microphone and still rock that venue. Like his presence. I'm like, breath, granted, presence.
The presence. Stage fucking presence. You standing
present. Yeah, I mean, his person. He is hip hop personified.
Right. Factory.
You know what I'm saying? It's very hard to have a hip hop battle against hip hop.
That's a fact.
And I don't think Rakim could have pulled it off. Right? These niggas is too calm and collected. It would have had to been LL.
Right.
Because LL is gonna give him the energy. LL is gonna give him the hits.
Gonna give him the hits.
LL is gonna go upstairs with this nigga on some speaking directly to the women. Right.
He gonna do that.
I would hate to say it would have had to been LL, right, to keep up with him, and that would have been very redeeming. If LL slightly edged him,
right,
he would have got respect back for his name. He would have got respect back for Queens. He would have got respect back for the majors, right?
You don't think LL they put smut on his name?
I said he would have got the respect back for his name.
Oh, right, for his name.
He would have got respect back for Queens.
That's a fact.
He would have got respect back for Def Jam as a major.
That's right. Do you think I could go
pretty boy niggas?
Right, that part.
Yeah. Lip licking niggas. Yeah. Them niggas.
Yeah. With the thirst. Do you think I could play some clips from the jump off last night?
I don't know how this shit go.
Family, I need y'all to hit that like button. I need y'all to hit that like button. And I need y'all to hit that Cash App too. Me and Blue is in the building doing what we do. You know what I'm talking about? Hit that Cash App, show some love, but not even at the table. I'm going to go ahead and venture over to my Instagram page, and we're going to see what we could do. Lil Goddess, hold me down. That's my moderator for the day. Yeah, she's holding me down. Yeah, Lil Goddess in the building. All right, boom. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna time it. They said it's a 2-minute thing sometimes, so I got a timer. Right?
Yeah.
Let me just
don't mess this up.
Sing along with me. Yeah. Don't. Fair use. I got the countdown.
I work like a slave to become a master. When I say arrive, you know they have to. Perfectly fitted, because I'm committed to entertainer and trainer and trainer get with it.
I'm coming.
I bust a little rhyme with authority. Superiority. Captivate the whole crowd with
majority.
Hill Street Blues. Zack and roll.
Destroy negativity and suckers, the company, the weak, the whack, the work, the poor. I fast, and then more. I'm supremacy. You need to say the other say the same. I bring a rappers like a heart and go.
Look at you, young.
Like a horn and broke. I slay my break and take the blow in, throw away. Cause I don't play. Jack like a single hell, break a rap in half, feel the rap. Okay, get your hands up, get your hands up, get them up. Get your hands up, get your hands up. Get your hands up, get your hands up, get them up. Get your hands up, get your hands up. Come on, the man in hand, the ruler, school, and teacher, preach the blind, to find a way from A to Z and be the most important out of time. I came to bring this to me.
Come on, baby.
Some people call me Shaggy, some people call me Brown.
Woo! Hold up. I gotta refresh it right after. All right, so boom, here go my stop clock. It's at 2 minutes. Let's start it again. Right? Fair use claim. Liar Cohen and all you people watching. Yeah, fair use claim. Don't hate on your boy. I'm just doing my recap. I'm glad they brought her out. Glad they brought her.
I just knocked them out. I'm saying y'all know the routine. So here we go again. So all hail the queen. Woo. I love you for a while, but it was worth the wait. Because it gave me just enough time to create a funky rhythm and everything to move the world. Have the party people screaming out. That's what I'm talking about. Please believe it, baby. Now, Kane, finish doing this motherfucking shit. Let's do it.
Shout out to all the city workers out there.
I was. The bridge is over. The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Hey, come on.
Talk your shit, Chris. Talk your shit, nigga. Tell him again, tell him
These motherfuckers is gas. Exxon Mobil. I put an oval in your vocal the size of an opal. You couldn't hang if you had a trick in a rope too. I'm that dope one, and I'm dope too. Knowledge reigns supreme, man, that's so true. I'm like a hollow point bullet. You can't see what I go through.
I like that.
Put the mic down, I won't do. But Kane is doing shows, but I'm here to show you.
Please.
To this day. To this day.
Motherfuckers is gas. Exxon Mobil. I put an oval in your vocal the size of an opal.
More
You couldn't hang if you had a tree and a rope too.
Hold on. I gotta stop it. I'm at the 2-minute mark.
I was the beat, must have compelled him. But that just shows he got geldings. Me avoiding smoke, I don't do that seldom. But I stayed out of you and saying shit. Nigga, you're welcome. Let's go.
Let's go.
Wrath of Kane. Talk your shit. Don't my nigga look like Kwame Brown?
To this day. To this day.
See the white boys school away.
The new Dark Knight. I introduce Kane as the new Bruce Wayne. And watch me drop jewels like Bruce Wayne. Yes, I'm never dick. That should be evident. I'm still the high of the destiny. I want to go to my mom's apartment. Strictly classics. Hey, yo, Capri, speed that shit up.
This shit hit so ugly.
I'm in junior high with a beat, but great. At the end of the day, I don't hit the arcade. I want to go to my mom's apartment. Not to tell her something every day.
Presence. Confidence. This nigga's b-boying it. Yeah, owning that shit.
I give him a mouth. Oh, I mean, that chicken head. He didn't make the whole drunk get out. I go upstairs, huff my mother, kiss my sister,
and slug my brother.
I sit in on my bed to watch some TV, bro.
Yeah, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Yeah.
We get
I don't want to match this side. We get the point. The point. So we put that on the board. I do want to cover about 2 or 3 things before I get out of here. Well, no, we at the 3-hour mark. I don't want to. We're gonna have to wrap this up. I don't want to go all. This was good. This was good.
Keep it hip-hop.
I want you to close it out. Yeah. Keep it hip hop. Let them know what you got coming up. Blue Pillar. Try them out. Let them know what you're doing.
Sequence of events on the 20th. Which I believe is, what is it, Wednesday or Thursday?
It's today is the 9th to 18th. So we talking about Wednesday?
Yeah. I'm doing a like a thrift shop type of situation called Thrift and Sip at the Zen Bar here in Atlanta, right?
Okay.
I got mad stuff in my closet that I need to get rid of. I got way too much drip. So
I was having that problem too.
Yeah. Let me stop. I seen you in that same sweater for like 5, 10 years. Anyway.
Yeah, this is an NFT, nigga. This is a classic. What are you talking
Yeah, I
about?
know it is. You know what I'm
All right,
saying?
keep going. Keep going.
So I got mad stuff that I need to I don't want to say dispose of, but transfer to another owner. Yeah, I got to do a release. So we doing it around a full moon because the full moons is consistent with releasing.
Dope.
Yeah. So it's gonna be at the Zen Bar. That's on the 20th. On the 24th, this Sunday coming up, we doing the next Alter Candy installment. This is gonna be a costume party. So from the hours of 7 to 11, you're gonna be able to dress up as the ancestors, as deities, entities. You feel me? Whoever
Can
you
I come?
resonate. Huh?
Can I come as Big Daddy Kane?
You could come as Big Daddy Kane. You know what I'm saying? You can wear the pink fedora and all that shit. I'll show you where to put it down here. You know what I'm saying?
Who you gonna come as? Little Daddy Shane or the nigga that was humping legs? No, as a matter of fact,
Now I'm coming as KRS-One, the fucking Undertaker, my nigga. So I'm gonna bring your casket with me. How about that? All right.
nah,
Check that out.
better thoughts. I think that I think Roxanne Shante look good on you. We can get you the same laminate that she was wearing. I go to Intel and get you the same button up. Virgie, don't do that.
Yeah. I got it. I got the Shantae ponytail. Don't come for my.
Matter of fact, she could be Shantae. You could come as Mr. C.
Yeah. I already got the Shantae
Mr. C t-shirt.
She got the Shantae ponytail. We're gonna get her the exercise door knockers.
You know what I
mean? She gonna come in Shantae and shit. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. You know what I mean?
Now that's what's up. I want to
But
make sure I'm gonna try to get some drip
from the
you.
hours of 7 to 11, we have Erica Lachey as our main guest, our keynote guest, our speaker for this event. You know what I'm saying?
Alter Candy?
Yes.
Oh, shout out to Erica Lachey. She's putting
Yeah.
work.
Yeah,
this
legendary.
Is a dress up thing. This is a costume party as well.
Again, it's a party where we're allowing people to come and pay dedication to their ancestors, different deities, entities, entertainers, whoever you feel inspired by. You know what I mean? You get to don the costume, and at some point, we're gonna open the stage where people can come and tell us who these people are, why they were inspired by them. You know what I'm saying? If there's any tidbits about them that we might need to know that we don't know. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have performers, we're gonna have presenters, we're gonna have vendors. 640 Evans Street, which is the 640 Unity Cafe on October 24th from the hours of 7 to 11 p.m. We're gonna be in the building putting on the next strong end. Following, I believe, on the 29th, I have a performance lined up. It's a conscious costume party on the 29th that I've been invited to as well. So I'll have that posted on my page, Blue Pillar 44 on Instagram, Blue Pillar 44 on Twitter. On Twitter, all right. I just jumped back into Twitterverse, so y'all can follow me over there, Blue Pillar 44, Blue Pillar 44 at Gmail is how you can get in contact with me. Goldwater.com, GOLDEWATER is how you can, help us help you support yourself, right? Goldwater.com. We have a lot going on over there right now. Cosmicdust.com, COZMIKDUST.com. That's where me and my baby, we co-create. You feel me? We got drip. We got drip over there. We got
drip for sale.
Jewelry, clothing.
You got the wands, because people be on my back asking me about the wands.
Yeah. Yeah, pause. Yeah, don't mix wands and backs together in a conversation. But yeah, we got the wands. You know what I'm saying?
That's them right there.
Nah, this ain't.
Oh,
People what they can't have.
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
say you should go to the party as me.
Yo.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, that was cute. That was cute.
I'll send you a fat suit. I'll send you a fat suit
Yeah, I
and
like
some
that.
swag.
That was cute. That was cute. I like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's getting late. I'm turning
But
up.
yeah,
What you
your
bringing
goal.
over here? Oh, the gold.
Yeah. Like I said, I got drools and drips and
That's what I was asking about that bag I saw you carrying. Okay, you got drip in there.
Yeah, we got some of that high scale, high grade.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
okay.
Top
Show
tier
off.
drip. So
Yes.
I'll add
SMT.
us.
And that's on
that cosmic drip.
What site is that on? Cosmic Dust?
Yeah, that cosmic drip, the intergalactic drip. You can find this on Cosmic Dust. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
You could chip and glitz your life out. We got you. You feel me? But yeah,
You should wear all of that drip to the Halloween party and just call yourself Mr. P instead of Mr. T.
Yo,
You could be
I might get my mo. Yeah.
You could be Flubber Lang. You could be P.A. Baracus, my nigga.
Yeah.
Nah, that's some fire drip, man. That's some fire drip.
All that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That part.
But yeah, man. Again, like bro said, beautiful demonstration. You know what I mean? Last night. You know what I mean? I don't know what they can possibly put together to top this. You feel me? And it just put things in perspective. You know what I mean? It put things in perspective.
Yes.
It was a hip hop watershed moment. It's a good it's a good perspective, to make an observation of, to be like, look how far we came and look how far we still have to go.
Right.
Because once again, I'm looking for, what I'm saying, like it puts so many things into the full spectrum where you get to observe it, and you like, yo, these artists deserve to be better taken care of and better compensated. They traded their youth, you know what I'm saying, to give us entertainment this classical and last forever.
Right.
Imagine if they was really getting some residuals off of the airplay.
If it was like set up like an NFT.
Yeah.
If it was set up like that.
Yeah. So
my people win.
Yes, there's work that has to be done in that particular, in that respect, so the next genre of artists don't have to deal with that.
Somebody asked if you listen to RJ.
Yeah, one of my favorite.
Blue put me on to him.
Shout out to RJ Payne.
Bars.
Yeah,
so there you have it, y'all. I want to say first and foremost, it's always a pleasure when you pull up. You know what I mean? Thank you for gracing us with your appearance, and your wisdom and your insight.
Thank you.
Somebody said that we should take this into the podcast world. And we're gonna talk about it when I link up with you, man. We're gonna sit down and see if this makes sense. For the family that's out there that was with us in the building, I appreciate y'all. Y'all made it very fun today. Thank y'all for all of your adding on, all of your especially Little Goddess, you know what I'm saying? She's now the KTL moderator, you know what I mean, for life. We're gonna make sure that she's locked in and whatnot. Everybody that's pulling up to the Discord, shout out to y'all. I'm gonna pull up over there after this for a little while shoot some shit, you know what I mean, and introduce y'all into the place and give y'all a walkthrough. If you don't know how to navigate the Discord, fret not, worry not. We got some people who are going to help walk you through it. You're going to learn how to navigate through this world. And then, like I said, after that, we're going to be going to the metaverse, but it's one step at a time. One step at a time. Somebody said China Flow visuals. Yeah, that part. Yeah, it's coming.
Convos with the Cosmos coming.
Convos with the Cosmos is coming.
My book with Alkebalan 44. Shout out to the bro.
Yeah. Yeah, just see that. I don't want to tell you it's coming, but some season 2, not the Red Summer Deluxe, not Red Summer season 2 on the way. Where's that place Mama's gonna be at this weekend in New York? You know the name of that again? The health expo?
What?
If you're in New York City, family, be sure to go down to the New Yorker Hotel on the 33rd Street, I believe, and 7th Avenue. On Sunday, I believe Mama Pill will be presenting there. That's going to be a huge event. I'll be posting the flyers on my Instagram page. I might even put it on the community board and YouTube. But Mama Pill is she's doing something monumental this weekend and whatnot. Make sure y'all come and support if you're in the strong end. If you're in the New York tri-state area, come and lend some support to Mama Pill. Shout out to the ATL. I'll see y'all soon. Love and light to the family. Peace to the Discord. Peace to all of my Patreons. You know what I mean? Like I said, hit up the Cash App, show some love. And hit up the Eventbrite. You know what I mean? Yes, hit up the Eventbrite for the tickets that I have with Brother Slice. We're gonna be doing another Stream Chasers event. Love and light to the family. We're gonna end this with our song that we have together off of the Red Summer album entitled China Flow. Red Pill, Blue Pillar, Red Pillar, China Flow. Go and get your album. Check it out. Support the album. Love and light to the family. We'll see y'all Melanin Monday. Inshallah. All right. Y'all stay dangerous. Y'all stay safe. You dig? And yeah.
Unprecedented. Bitch, I'm in the Bronx with the evil in my residential.
KRS
It was all emojis, it was never mental. The silver spoon is under fire. When the pressure hits it, times that we living in unprecedented.
Bring that back, niggas. Come on.
To this day. To this day.
The president still acting unpresidential. Bitch, I'm in the Bronx with the evil in my residential. It was all emojis, it was never mental. The silver spoon is under fire. The times that we living in unprecedented. We went from doing a Dougie fresh and vintage. Now the rhymes, they all pessimistic. They hashtagging black girl magic. Just finesse the mystics. They impressed with quick chicks. Only savages was less sadistic. They being less specific. No metaphysics. So many butter biscuits. They need extra biscuit. We had the blessed district. Fresh and death. We was dressed and drip. They worship lesser gods with the lesser mystics. Cocksuckers. On they breath is fish sticks. They think Takashi. Yeah, they won't protect the witness. They think Takashi. Yeah, they won't protect the witness. The witness. Hannibal Barker shit, darker shit. And a harder bit, yeah, starting shit. That Marty Martyr with Sean Carter starter kid. Brooklyn, mixed Sparta blood shit, 300. The crimes of the passionate ones who fell in love with blasting their guns. My chain froze, chain froze, same goes for Wayne Grove, the rain grove on strange roads. Dr. Strange mode on strange toes, make the brain rearrange codes. 360 spinning clearly like a plane roll. 365 winning really like a game host. 444 degrees on a range stove. On the coast of the mango. These niggas wanna know how power is obtained. If you act the shower posse, they'll tell you that I was till none of these cowards they remain. Flowers is arranged, carriages remain. Drawn by 400 horses, there was power in the range. 19 blocks cutters overpowering them planes. They left all them towers up in flames. I never look at 24 hours just the same. Bitch, I'm Jack Bauer mixed with black power. You a mixture of that crack powder and Mr. Matt Lauer. Hashtag Mr. Need Too. You met Red Pillar, I suggest that you niggas meet Blue.
Yo, in the land of the brave, in the home of the giants, she was COVID compliant, she was COVID defiant. That was potent, reliant, we exposed in these tyrants. Composed of the science, we not posed in no triumph. Controlling the climates, yeah, we mold these embarrassment. Scientists with clientless, clients touch with iron fist. Holding arms, only way to catch these gems. Texas with an open palm, equestrians on open farm. Potent on that potent wand, grown up farms, coat of arms, Olympian. Kicking doors, waving 44s. They won't let me in. Nah, shit, we talking like a thespian, walking like pedestrians. It's my requiem, take you out front and center like ESPN. In the middle of the action, spitting with a passion. You get riddled if you passion. Shit, no dribble, we just passing off the scribble, we just cashing. Expand the vote, play above the rim. Earl a goat, man a goat. Turn from man a hoe, can a hoe. Let the hammers go, spit your cantaloupe. Not even animals stop me from slut shaming all these bitch niggas. Yeah, your man's a hoe, the only antidote to split his cantaloupe. Leave you bloody like an antelope when Serengeti's. Get ready, shit, no introductions necessary. We legendary, yeah, the story still unfolds. Yeah, they taking notes like secretaries. Yeah, the heart is like the message heavy. About that life, but what we represent. Mystics in the forest, scientific witness, Morris. All the shit I spit historic, like every day is February. Shit, you like it, I adore it. Shit, I write it, then record it, recite it, and perform it. Excitement, I'm euphoric, like biting shit, war shit.
To this day,